Welcome to Smalls Athletic Field here in York, Pennsylvania for tonight's Cat Fight. It is a high school sports live TV game of the week, the pregame show here as we're getting ready for York High and Central for a Division I championship here in the York Area Interscholastic Athletic Association. I'm Gary Sutton. We're looking forward to a great pregame show with you here tonight. We're going to have a coach's spotlight on Russ Stoner, the head coach at York High. We're also going to be taking a look at another Stoner, his son, Sam Stoner, who's the quarterback, as we put our spotlight on the student athlete tonight. And then we'll take a look at something called Accountability for Life that the York High team is involved with. We'll also have Chalk Talk with Bill Chase tonight, and we'll get you ready for this big game. It's a high school sports live TV game of the week, and it's coming to you live here on Fox 43.2. Glad to be coming your way tonight. Looking forward to a great evening of football, and we'll be back right after this.
The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambalvo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jack Giambalvo Mazda. The Giambalvo family of dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale. Giambalvo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at Giambalvo.com.
So a while back, I thought to myself, I'm never going to own a home. I'm going to have to rent forever. I didn't have money for a down payment. I had no credit history, and I just got out of a divorce. But PHFA showed me that home ownership is possible. They offer me a low-interest mortgage and a way to manage the closing cost. To me, this is more than just my home. It's a huge accomplishment and a new chapter in my life, thanks to PHFA.
We wake up with the sun. We live in a place we're proud to call home. For us, it's knowing that those we help are neighbors, friends, family. As the leader in providing the best orthopedic care for our community, we come together to do our part.
Lock it up at Hoffman Ford. Only Hoffman Ford offers 2 years maintenance included with any new 2023 Ford car, truck, or SUV order. Plus, lock in Ford's lowest APR rate today. Get 2 years maintenance included exclusively at Hoffman Ford. Why would you order from anywhere else? Who has your best deal on a new Ford?
Hoffman has it.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
Gary Sutton here with our student athlete spotlight. We're with Sam Stoner, who is the quarterback for York High Bearcats, and you're going to see him tonight in this big game with Central. And, you know, Sam, we talk about York High right now. We talk about the quarterback position. You've been there for 3 years. Accountability is a word that gets thrown around here an awful lot, isn't it? Being accountable as a quarterback with a lot of heat on comes with rewards, but it also comes with, you know, being the guy that everybody looks at the end of the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, quarterback, you're either going to be the hero or the zero. And I've been told that since I started to play, since I wanted to play. So, I mean, you can't let that get to you. You just got to keep level mind and just play the next game.
Sam, talk about what it's been like to be a quarterback at York High and, you know, being a student athlete, being a leader on the team. What's that leadership meant to you?
Well, it was definitely different. I mean, I came from West York. I mean, came into the halls of York High. It was definitely a different experience. But, I mean, I knew all the guys, and I think with me and my work ethic, I won the guys over with the leadership stuff. So I really don't have to say anything, and like I go and I do what I'm supposed to do, and they follow my lead. So that's just how that happened.
We talk about on and off the field, student athlete. We've got a big spotlight shining on you tonight. But talk about the classroom and how that translates over onto the football field as well.
Well, I think if you do the little things right in the classroom, you know, get good grades, you know, all those distractions go away. So you can really focus on the game and what you have to do in the game. I mean, I've always gotten grades. I mean, my mom would probably kill me if I didn't, but always strive to get good grades, so I have my window really, really wide open, so when I go to college, I can make a good choice.
You talk about your mom on the grades. How about you have to go home at night, and Dad's the coach there on the field, but he's also a dad at home. Is that tough? Is that a tough transition sometimes to try to, kind of cross over on a tough night or even a good night?
I think definitely he does a pretty good job of keeping the two separate, being my dad at home and then being my coach at the field. There's definitely times at the field where I've called him dad and he's yelled at me. But, I mean, of course we get heated sometimes because of my dad, but, I mean, it's been a really special sharing this high school experience with him being my coach.
Listen, I had a dad that was a principal. I know what that goes like. So you never use a dad's first name at school, But, hey, this York High team, being the quarterback on the team, but being around these guys, you said getting to know them over the years. What's special about this team to you?
I think this is the closest team that we've had since I've been at York High. I mean, all of us really are friends. Like, there's no different little groups and cliques. It's all like we're all one big family group. Like, actually, I know everybody talks about family, but like this year really feels like special that we all are together and work hard for each other.
This has become like the Army-Navy game at the end of seasons in Division I. It seems like you two show up against each other, Central and York High, each year. Last year, remember the downpour over at Central. It was an ugly game. Yeah. Ugly game for you guys as well. But does that memory kind of linger a little bit as you come into this year's game over at Smalls Athletic Field?
I mean, definitely. Last year after that game, we were back in the weight room on Monday, ready to play, working towards getting back to that game, making that game meaningful again. So it would mean a lot for us to pull out a win today.
How's this team differ from the team last year from a quarterback's perspective compared to the York High team that played last season?
Honestly, I think we make less mental errors, and I mean, I already said we're closer to the team, but we're just more well-rounded and we can do all aspects of the game at this point.
So for Sam Stoner, the student athlete in high school, what about Sam Stoner heading off to the next level in college? What are you looking at?
Well, so I have a couple offers, but I'm going to probably narrow down my 3 FCS schools, my 3 Division II schools, and then Division II like PSAC schools, and then make a decision from there.
As you look at yourself, what's the best quality that you have? What's the biggest thing you bring to the table here, not only for yourself but for the team?
I think my knowledge of the game and just like, because most of the time I can look at a defense and I know the weak spots, know that stuff, so I have a pretty good idea of my plan when I come up ready to say go to snap the ball. I have a pretty good plan in my mind of what will happen, and I can just predict off that.
Our student athlete spotlight tonight on Sam Stoner, the quarterback at York High. Sam, have a good game, and thanks so much for taking time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambavo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jack Giambavo Mazda. The Giambavo family of dealerships. Over $30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambavo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambavo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at giambavo.com.
At Capital Blue Cross, there are more yeses and fewer nos. Protecting your health and making it easier so you can spend time on what makes you smile. Helping our communities, your families, your businesses, big and small. We have you covered, going the extra mile. It's what we do. Capital Blue Cross, going the extra mile for you.
We wake up with the sun. We live in a place we're proud to call home. For us, it's knowing that those we help are neighbors, friends, family. As the leader in providing the best orthopedic care for our community, we come together to do our part.
Our coach's spotlight tonight also shines on a Stoner, as well as our student spotlight. This is Dad, though. This is Russ Stoner, the head football coach here at York High, or William Penn of York, if you'd like. He's been there since 2016, but before that made his name at Central, Spring Grove, and now here at York High. And Coach Stoner, always good to be with you. Game night coming up with Central. It's become the Army, Navy, the North Carolina Duke at the end of every YAIA season. I know you remember a game last year at the end of the season in the rain with Central. This year they come to Smalls Athletic Field. You're tied for first again. You're 5-2. You've had a quality season so far. Talk a little bit about being the football coach at York High and what it all means to you right now.
Well, you know, obviously we're proud, very proud of what we've been able to accomplish. You know, I think we had talked a little bit off the air. Prior to us getting to York High in 2016, York High actually only won 12 games in 7 years. So for us to play for 6 straight championship opportunities is nothing less than pretty incredible in my eyes. So, and then, you know, obviously, you know, I was at Central for, I don't know, 16 years when I first started coaching. So to play against these guys, it's fun, it's exciting, and, you know, we'll let it all hang out tonight and see what happens.
I've known you for a long time, and a lot of people have known you for a long time here in the York area. And the one thing that they always say about you is you're one of the most enthusiastic guys they've ever met. You're a great tactician as well, but enthusiastic guy. You know, have you always been like that? I mean, where did that all get started?
Well, I think passion is what, if you don't have passion, you can't play. You can't coach. You can't, your job's not going to be any fun. So for me, you know, I have the ability to always say, I can figure out a way to get a good hate on for anybody that we're playing. Not that I actually hate them, but I get it. I get really competitive, and my whole family's competitive, from my wife to actually she might be the most competitive one. But I am just very competitive. I'm a very confident person, and at the end of the day, I think that rubs off on your kids.
Everywhere you look here in the Accountability for Life Center, where we are right now, which is where York High kind of meets, there's motivational signs. And one of the signs that I know you like the most is Be Legendary. What's that all about?
Well, if people don't remember your number, what'd you do? You know, so when people always, you know, people tell me, oh, I did this and I did that, and I'm like, what number were you? And if they can't tell me the number that I remember after 27 years of coaching here in York County, I'm not sure you're very legendary. So for me, if you want to be remembered, people got to remember who you are and what you've done and how you've carried yourself. So to me, that's one of my favorite ones in this room, is Be Legendary.
Talk about game day and what it means to you. I know there's a lot of things leading up to it. I walked in today, you and your son are talking about, you know, a swing play or whatever it might be. What's it mean, and especially for this Central game coming up at Smalls Athletic Field?
Well, obviously, you know, it's a big deal this week. It's senior night, my kid, championship, all of those things. The atmosphere is going to be fantastic. You know, I still get the butterflies, and that's how you know you're not finished coaching. Right. So, I mean, again, one of the things I told a reporter earlier this week was, when I was at Central, we played in lots of meaningful football games, right? When I got to Spring Grove, I remember I met the football team in the library, and we couldn't figure out how to turn the lights on. And in the dark, I told the boys, I said, I don't care about anything else besides having you have a chance to play in meaningful football games. And we did that we accomplished that at Spring Grove. And then it was sort of the same thing I said to this group of kids that we took over in 2016. I said, the best part about football or any sport is playing in meaningful games. And obviously we wouldn't be talking right now if we weren't playing in a meaningful game. And that is, to me, an important facet to growth in kids, is that in the moment, can you be that guy? And that translates, you know, when something tragic happens as a family, can you be in the moment? When something happens at work, can you be in the moment? That is, to me, one of the most crucial things that you can have as a human being, is being in the moment.
Sometimes the moment's not always good. We did the game last year at the end of the season. Rain coming down at Central, can't be any more dreary, mistakes going against you and so forth. Those are the moments where you really coach. What do you do at the end of a game like that? You gather your kids together in a tough loss, but then you start lifting weights, your son said, the following Monday. What do you do in a game like that?
Well, you know, it's like anything else. One of the things that lots of people really get caught up into it too much is this. Wins and losses are going to happen, right? Someone's going to win, someone's going to lose. But guess what happens the next day? The sun comes up. Right. And if you can learn something after a loss, that's fantastic. That's a great piece. As long as you don't let that loss beat you the next week. And that is kind of has been our motto a little bit with our kids. It doesn't matter what, it's about here and now. It's about trying to do it all right. And then you let it out in the field. And if they're the better team that night, then they're the better team that night. But if we end up being the better team that night, fantastic.
Be legendary, huh?
Be legendary. It's all you can ask for, right?
Coach, Spotlight shining bright tonight, and it's going to be Central and York High. Should be a great game. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you. Coach Russ Stoner at York High. William Penn of York right here on our Coach's Spotlight.
At Capital Blue Cross, there are more yeses and fewer nos. Protecting your health and making it easier so you can spend time on what makes you smile. Helping our communities, your families, your businesses, big and small. We have you covered, going the extra mile. It's what we do. Capital Blue Cross, going the extra mile for you.
Everybody knows Hoffman has it. Did you know Hoffman has even more? There's the fully stocked Hoffman Ford Parts and Accessories Department, the Hoffman state-of-the-art collision facility, confidence in our ultra-modern service facility, peace of mind with master technicians, satisfaction with low prices.
Do I really need to say it again? Hoffman has it.
Only at Hoffman Ford, Colonial Park.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
Bill Chase and Gary Sutton with you here at Smalls Athletic Field for Chalk Talk tonight. And, man, we got a good one coming up here, Bill. Both teams undefeated coming into this game for Division I championship. 6th straight year they've done this. 2017 and 18, York High won. But since then, it's been Central dominating. In fact, Central has not lost a York Area League matchup to anybody here since 2018. And who was the last team to do it? Of course, York High in this game. What are you looking for in this one tonight?
There are a lot of ramifications on this game, and not only whoever wins this game will be the York County champion, but district seeding is going to shift around in 6A overnight. Get up and check. If they post the rankings tomorrow morning, they'll be different than what you saw all week. And this is just a golden opportunity for both teams right now.
Last year, it was a wipeout. Central knocked out York High in the rain over at Central. They've been waiting for this chance to get back and even all year long. Averaging 46 points a game is York High. Central on the other side, 42 a game. Central giving up a few less, a little less than 20. York High's giving up 29 points a game. If we look at something tonight, it might be the defensive end.
Yeah, Vegas can't set a line high enough to put the over or under on this because they both score. And that to me is going to be the key. Who can get a couple of stops? Now, our understanding is that the starting quarterback for Central York possibly will not be playing tonight. How that figures into Central York's attack, we'll have to wait and see. But this is going to be a high-scoring affair. My concern going forward for both teams would be as you get into better and better competition, who are you going to stop? How are you going to stop people? Because defense has to play a role at some point.
And you got a great running back here for York. His name's Shaheem White. He's a guy that has over 1,400 yards, 30 touchdowns this season. On the other side, Jules Goss wears 0, but he has anything but 0 as numbers. He's got 18 touchdowns on the year, over 1,000 yards, in fact, around 1,200. And so these two guys are going to be the featured players probably on the offense tonight.
Yeah, they are probably the two best backs in the area, both big-time recruits. And the quarterback position interests me in that if Central York's Nasir still does not play, how does Aiden Johnson handle the game? Big time under the lights for the first time in a huge game. And the Stoner kid is just really, really impressive. Been a starter for a long time. And the amazing statistic that I saw, every 5th completion that he completes is for a touchdown. And I looked up, I compared that to some other numbers. I won't mention the school, but there's another school that he only completes a touchdown every 43 pass completions. So it's a big play offense, no question about it. So I think the quarterback position now adds a little more flavor with Central's possible backup now in the starting role.
Our pregame show just about done. We're just about ready to get this one started. 6th straight year for a championship here at the York Area Athletic League, and it's going to happen right here at Smalls Athletic Field. York High, Central. It's a cat fight here tonight, and we'll bring it all to you right after this on Fox 43.2, the High School Sports Live TV Game of the Week. Welcome to the building, as they call it here in York High football, the AFL building. Accountability for Life is the name of it, and I'm with Coach Russ Stoner, who I've known for about 1 million years here, the head coach at York High. But, You know, so many times we have talked about in the past what we do for student athletes and, you know, inner city kids, kids in general. And this building is kind of a fruition of what you've been doing over the last bunch of years since 2016 when you got the head coach at York High. This building, and we're going to take a look at it throughout the course of this little piece right here, is kind of home to you right now, isn't it?
Actually, it is. You know, it's funny. In 2016, when we got hired, there were so many things that went wrong that season. But the one thing that wasn't wrong were the kids. And we knew that if we were going to have any positive effect with our kids on our team, that we needed to do something. And we knew that we just needed to teach them some of the things that were the fundamentals that were missing. And that's how kind of AFL was invented. It's funny because AFL, I've been coaching for so long, it's been part of me forever. But we just labeled it, I guess. And it was a couple of my coaches and one of my relatives that came to me and said, it's all inside of you. We just got to follow you around and put the program together. So that's really what we've done. But this building, you know, last April, we had a bunch of people come in, you know, the Home Depot, the Wave Foundation out of Hanover. Just the Home Depot gave us a grant. We had our local fire department in here doing so much work, my coaches. And we revamped this whole building. And this building has now been the focus of our kids. And, you know, we have a weight room. We have, obviously, we're sitting in the lounge right now. We have a full kitchen and a turf room. And heck, we put a garden in. So we have the ability to do everything that we need to do here. We can have our meetings here. And people always ask me, when are your meetings? And I pretty much tell them it's every day. Because AFL is not a sometime thing. It's an all-the-time thing. So, and it's not just, you know, it's not just for kids, actually. You know, the amount of things that I've learned from our kids, just tremendous.
Accountability for life is what AFL stands for. And, you know, it's a building, but what happens inside this building is so much more important. And people say, you're doing all that just for a football program? No, you're doing all that for people and developing character. Talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on. It's a mentoring program. You're doing a lot of stuff right here. And one of the things I know you have a great slogan here, just be a good dude. Talk a little bit about how you be a good dude, because there's a lot more into it than just that.
Well, you know, it really comes down to this. I mean, the football piece, it's because I'm the football coach, right, or I'm a football coach. And if I end up not being a football coach, I'm going to continue to do this because it's just that they're the kids that I can get to right now. But we've had lots of people reach out to us wanting to be involved in this program. And it's you know, for me, it's teaching the kids the yeses and the nos of the world, the please and the thank yous. And, you know, and let's face it, in our society today, there's a lot of things that can skew your opinions of people. And you know, we're trying to teach kids how you want to, you know, you got to act the way you want to be treated. You got to treat people that same way, you know. And when I first got hired here, I remember we were over at Manheim Township for a 7-on-7. And I was walking to the restroom, and one of our kids was walking with me. And one of their coaches stopped me and started to have a conversation with me. And that conversation really went like this: Coach, how you doing? Oh, it's good. Hey, beautiful day today. You know, just common conversation. Right. And when we broke away, my kid looked at me and said, how do you do that? I'm like, what do you mean, how do you do that? And that kind of set the ball in motion for me. Our kids, and lots of kids, they just keep their heads down. They don't smile at people. They don't say hello. They don't open doors. They don't do any of those things because it hasn't been taught. Or if it has been taught, it's been taught very little. Right. And for me, I'm after trying to create better people. And that's really what we're looking at.
You're talking about a program here that is not a right, it's a privilege. And you make a point of that, saying that in your mission statement, but also you're asking kids to take ownership of their lives, and talk a little bit more about how you do some of that.
Well, I think it's through education. Right. One, you know, we have a partnership with Sherry Washington, and she does a bunch of our tutoring and a bunch of our stuff. We have great guidance counselors, some great teachers at York High that really help us get things done. But, you know, if you take some ownership of what you do, like, everybody has a sad story, and that's what I tell our kids. You know, I mean, I grew up in the West York Borough in a row home. You know, we didn't have everything, and I didn't know what I didn't have, right? So I tell kids all the time, and some of our kids have no idea they're in a bad situation because they don't know anything different, sure, right? So I tell our kids all the time, your story's not written, right? That's an old cliche. Everybody talks about writing your own story. But truly here, our kids are averaging over 1,000 SAT score and over a 3.0 GPA. Our kids are qualifying for thousands and thousands of dollars academically to go to college. Well, again, I'm not a huge proponent of college, but in this situation I am. It's a way to get our kids out of the city. It's a way to get our kids get more education, and a way for our kids to better their lives and cut off a circle that might not be so good. And at the end of the day, if they listen, if kids listen, and remember, now we have data that shows what we've done.
Right.
The kids that have listened, and we have data for kids that haven't listened. But every year we get a new 20 kids, we get a new 30 kids, a new whatever it is that come along in through here and end up, taking either our coaching, mentoring, or they don't. I don't bang them over the head. I don't give up on them. I don't give up on them because I feel like you never know when the light might just come on.
Right.
But I will not chase people, and at the end of the day, our kids are having tremendous success at the college level. We don't let them go in college. Like I still have, most of our kids are still doing something through the college level of, because they're, when they were 15 they needed help. When they're 21, they still need help. Right. So I kind of decided that probably by the day that I die, I'll still be mentoring the kids that I've coached here at York High, which I'm perfectly okay with.
You also have kids who are going into trades. We were talking about that a little bit ago, and you got some kids that are doing very, very well. And again, teaching the components of how you get there is really an important part of what you're doing here as well. Again, we're not even talking about football right now, we're talking life.
Right, and I think people that know me and understand what I'm about, but I think some people are like, he's just, it's not, it truly isn't. I mean, when people walk into this building, even when we're having a workout in here, it's about personal growth more than anything else. And our kids got to figure out how to get here. Now there's some kids that we'll help if coaches are driving by or whatever, and some of our kids have license now, and we've offered bus passes, but some of them don't want to ride the bus anymore, and I get it, but they have to figure out how to, so it's important to them. And when something's important to you, you're going to do your best with it. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to treat them like rock stars. We're giving them an opportunity to be in a building that, you're talking about a tremendous amount of technology here, a great stereo system. There's always food here. And at the end of the day, you have to earn all of that. And I'm not a guy that likes just to give things away. So, we strive for that over 3.0 GPA. We're having our first marking period here. I think we're going to have like 25 kids on the honor roll. And that's just tremendous to me.
It's not just the field. Obviously, it's what goes on before you ever get to the field. And obviously, a lot of that is happening right here at Accountability for Life. Russ, final question for you. When people walk away from all this someday, and hopefully they won't, but, Accountability for Life, what do you want them to say about it?
Honestly, this is one of the things that give them a chance. The days that when they go to college, they're going to work and they're like, man, I'm tired, I don't feel like doing it. But that day when they just say thank you to somebody, or they smile at somebody, they realize that, hey, it doesn't matter, I can get through this crazy thing called life. And that they always know that there's support here and there's somebody always willing to help. And you just got to put yourself and surround yourself by the right people.
Ownership, love, togetherness, goals, it all comes together right here. Accountability for Life, a very special program here. Coach Russ Stoner and all the people making it just that way. Welcome to Smalls Athletic Field in York, Pennsylvania. It is the game of the year in the York Area League, and it is York High and Central, the cat fight. It's the North Carolina Duke, it's the Army-Navy game, and it's all for first place. 6 straight year it's been for first place. They both come in this game tonight undefeated in the York Area League Division I. Gary Sutton, Bill Chase with you and our whole Invicta crew tonight as we're bringing you the High School Sports Live TV Game of the Week, brought to you by the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. So proud to have them aboard tonight, and we are just about ready to get this one underway. Bill Chase, we are in for a good one here tonight as these two are going to decide a championship here in season number 1 in football here, which is the York Area League.
Yes, this has become quite the rivalry here, and here's the opening kickoff, a little squib kick.
Squib kick down to Central. They're going to receive first, and very quickly, right out of the gate, getting some decent yardage upfield out near the 34-yard line where they're going to set up shop. First down and 10 for the Central Panthers. And a little different number back in the backfield there tonight. It's going to be Aiden Johnson at quarterback, wearing number 2, a junior. Nasir still not available tonight, and so Johnson will step in there for the start here for the Panthers as they get this one underway. Both these teams, high-scoring teams. York High averaging over 46 points a game. On the other side, Central averaging over 42. They've not scored under 30 during the course of this season. Looks like right out of the gate you might get a little wildcat action here with Jules Goff. He of the 1,200 yards rushing. You can see why. Jules Goff down the field and break it away right away. Jules Goff is going to take it to the house on the opening play of the game, all the way down to the 34-yard line, a 66-yard run for Jules Goff. Make that a 56-yard run for Jules Goff. No, 66-yard run for Jules Goff for a touchdown right like that. Central's on the board.
And he is one of our featured backs tonight in this ball game. They went Wildcat, something they do once in a while. Will we see a regular shift, a variety of that? We don't know, but that was Wildcat and very successful to start.
So 11:43 mark. Here's Parker in to try to add the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good, and just like that, 11:43 to go in the first quarter. Central is up 7-0. All here on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2. We'll be back right after this.
So a while back, I thought to myself, I'm never going to own a home. I'm going to have to rent forever. I didn't have money for a down payment. I had no credit history, and I just got out of a divorce. But PHFA showed me that home ownership is possible. They offer me a low-interest mortgage and a way to manage the closing cost. To me, this is more than just my home. It's a huge accomplishment and a new chapter in my life, thanks to PHFA.
And just like that, Central shows you just how explosive they are on a 66-yard run from Jules Goff right out of the gate. I guess when you don't have your quarterback in there starting tonight, you put in a Wildcat, and it works real well, Bill.
Well, we saw Wildcat last Thursday when we did the Trinity Steel High game. They did it for the whole first half, and I'll be curious to see how things go in the second series.
So we're getting ready to kick it off right here for Central. It'll be Matthew Parker, and he's going to be kicking a York High here as the Bearcats will get their hands on the ball for the first time. And we'll see what they can do with it here. But a shocker right out of the gate, getting that kind of run in a game this big.
Well, and a lot of coaches will disagree with me, but that's why in a big game I like to take the ball first, because right away, now Central York has the upper hand. Let's see how they respond defensively and how York High responds offensively.
And York High responded by dropping it, but here comes White, near side, 25-30. 35-40. White down the near sideline all the way out to the 50 before he stops. So Jaheim White serves notice that he's on the field tonight. He had over 200 yards last year when they lost 60-14 to Central in that rain-drenched night over at Central's field. But Jaheim White, a guy who seems to be Mr. Consistency every night.
Well, he's more than he's spectacular. I've seen him on film a couple of times, and he's very, very good going to West Virginia. Just a special kid.
Sam Stoner will step in there, quarterback. Here you see just Jaheim White. When he gets to the corner, get out of town because he's going to find a way to move. So York High sets up 1st and 10, ball at the 50-yard line. Here's the inside handoff. Look at White. Just shoots, shows to you, gets around. Maybe gets a half a yard on the play. He did a lot of running just to get that half yard, Bill.
Yeah, that was a good job. They ran it into the sidelines. And just one other thing on White right now. And he has 192 points this year. I mean, that's a career in basketball for some guys.
Yeah, exactly right. Officially, they're going to say it was a 65-yard run by Jules Goff. And so 2nd down now and 10 for the Bearcats. 11:20 to go here in the first quarter. Central up 7-0 here. Sam Stoner, had a chance to talk to him the other day on our student spotlight. What a great kid he is. So Stoner, quick pass near sidelines, and he gets his man over there, and that is David Ward. And David Ward with a quick pickup.
And Ward is their #1 receiver. He's only a sophomore, but top receiver.
Ward on the season also has 10 touchdowns as well.
Yes, he does. 50 receptions. And we got my favorite, the left-handed quarterback.
Always like those left-handers, don't you? They have a little bit different look.
They're
Third straight game we've had a father-son coaching and quarterback team, by the way. So it'll be first down here, ball down at the 40-yard line. First down for York High in this one. White in motion. Now White coming right back. A little bit different look there, and White slashes his way over the 40, down inside the 40, maybe to the 38-yard line.
Strong D there by Central York. Put him on the number behind the sticks a little bit.
Got some big guys up there in the front, including number 77. That's Bell Inners. So we second down now and 9. Ball at the 39-yard line. Stoner straight back. Stoner near side. Throws it again to his favorite target, Ward, and Ward is loose. Ward gets down inside the 30 to the 25-yard line. Another first down here for the Bearcats.
Yeah, they ran the same route that they completed the first time, just a little 7-8 yard out route along the sideline, and they threw into the sideline, which I like there.
One of the things you got to like about Stoner is just the poise, Bill. He really does a great job of kind of picking what he wants, looking things over, and not rushing.
Now, when your dad's a coach and you're living with him the whole time, that can be good and bad. The good part is, of course, that you should understand the offense as well as anybody.
When I walked in the other day to do an interview with him, they were sitting there talking about offensive plays and a certain play. It was really interesting to listen to the two of them. Quick pass out to the outside. He's got White out there. White trying to get a first down, and White will step out for a first down. So York High answering the quick touchdown with a drive of their own right here.
That was a really nice little hitch route, about 7 yards, and then White added onto it with the run. The ball was out of Stoner's hands before White even turned into his break. I like the way White caught the ball with his hands, too.
10-17 to go here in the first quarter. York High, Central, 6 straight years they have played for a championship. 2017 and 18, York High won it. Then Central went on a 3-year run. They've not lost since 2018 when they lost to who else? York High in that championship game at the end of the season. So first down and 10. Ball at the 17. There's a handoff. White shoots. Look at the move he made right there just to get to the outside. And White with a nice pickup on first down.
Yeah, there was nothing on the inside. He gave a little shake and bounced it outside to pick up about 5 yards.
See if we can see this on the replay. I mean, this kid shows you the foot, pulls it back, and then just turns vertically and goes. Jaheim White heading to West Virginia next year.
Yeah, he's been on the radar for a long time. I mean, he was a star as soon as he came into the program.
Take a look at this. I mean, just watch. This is a great look for the backside. You'll see what he does. We're coming up here on second down in just a moment. But look at that. Boom. Right there. Stutter steps and then around the corner. Second down, 6 yards to go. Ball at the 13-yard line. Stoner, inside handoff. White gets behind his blockers. White trying to get to the end zone down near the 3-yard line, maybe the 2. And again, another first down. First down and goal for York High.
Yeah, they went some jet motion with David Ward. Just a token fake to him, and then countered back with Jaheim White. And now the track, they put it in here. The track meet is on for sure.
Well, these two teams like to average a lot of points. They both scored in the 50s a bunch of times this year, and so you may see a real offensive slugfest here tonight. So first and goal for the 3-yard line for the Bearcats. Jules Goff exploded for a 65-yard run on the first play for Central. The Bearcats have answered with a methodical march down the field. Here's the handoff to White. White to the outside. White going to try to get to the end zone. Can't get there. A good cut down over there on the far side by Central. They really strung that play out very, very well.
Yeah, they strung it out nicely, kept running to the sidelines, and that was Nasir Still, number 21, Niger DeWitt, who had a great game when we did the broadcast early in the year with Cumberland Valley. He struck me as their best defensive player.
Dominic Grove out there to help, too. Great job just stringing that thing out, because you're not going to get that guy very often. So it'll be second down now and goal for the Bearcats. And we get a timeout here for the moment. Official timeout. Taking a look at everything here. And now they'll start the clock again. 8:21 to go here in the first quarter. Second down and goal for the York High Bearcats, trying to answer Central's early touchdown. Fake the jet sweep, handoff, and banging it in for the touchdown.
Haven't seen the signal
yet. I see the one official putting up, I think, 3, which would be third down. So White on the carry. Down near the goal line, inside, almost looks like it's inside the 1.
And here's where I'm going to get one of my questions answered, which teams that are always in the pistol or the gun, do they ever go under center? If they don't go under center here, then they just don't. Okay,
they just don't. A lot of times you like to have that back, have some eyesight there, give him a little chance to pick his spot, right?
Well, a lot of times I just want to run a quarterback sneak.
And how about that?
Or
that was a quarterback sneak. Fake it to the obvious guy, White, and at the 7:27 mark here of the first quarter, York High has answered with their own touchdown on a 1-yard run by Sam Stoner. Everybody in the world was going to Jaheim White there, and Sam Stoner just said, I'll take it myself, thank you very much. And Stoner in for the touchdown.
I think they're going to go for 2 here, Gary.
Interesting.
Yeah, I do not consider that a quarterback sneak. You run a quarterback sneak, you're going to get your uniform dirty.
Right. Not there, where you get in behind that big center, but not there. So York High decides not to go for the extra point here, and they're going to go for 2 instead.
Yeah, they're loaded up here on the right. 2 big linemen brought in. Wildcat, move a man out because quarterback went in motion.
And there it goes. And into the end zone for 2 goes White. So White with a 2-point conversion. And York High has taken the lead here at 7:27 of the first quarter. 8-7. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. We got ourselves a cat fight here on High School Sports Live TV's Game of the Week.
Do you want to answer that?
Nah, I'd never with a kid in the car.
It's okay. I'm not here. I'm there.
And you wondered how good these two offenses are. One exploded on one play. The other one came down the field and marched in. 10 plays, 50 yards, 4:16 it took, 7 runs, 3 passes. And York High then gets a 2-point conversion and has a 1-point lead as they kick it off here and swim it down the field. Very quickly picked up and some room to run here. And look out, maybe another big one coming back. You've got DeWitt with the football all the way down to the 20-yard line, and Central is what you call economical so far tonight, Bill Chase.
And Najir DeWitt making a name for himself again tonight. Like I said a few moments ago, he stuck out in the Cumberland Valley game in week 2, and he's sticking out right away tonight.
Najir DeWitt racing down the field with the football, and great field position, obviously setting up here for Central at the 21-yard line of York High. Big run back here, and Central so far is doing it with the big plays. 1 big play from scrimmage, 1 big run back here on the kickoff, and they are set up shop again and knocking on the door. And again, looks like they're going with the Wildcat this time.
Yeah, Wildcat, 2 cheater backs up on the right side. Picked up a few yards.
Jules Goff did not run for a touchdown that time. There's news. Goff instead is going to pick up a few on the play. Take a look at this run back here. Najir DeWitt, man, just racing down the field. He's second down now and 6. Again, here we go with Goff. Goff right down to the 10-yard line. He's inside maybe to the 8. Looks like a first down yardage. And Central on the prowl one more time.
Again, this is exactly what we saw with Trinity last Thursday against Steel High. but I think for different reasons. Trinity wanted to control the football, keep Alex Irby off the field from Steel High. Central York may be doing it out of necessity.
And making sure that Aiden Johnson, who maybe has a lot of heat on him, doesn't have all the heat right now. So here you go. The first down and goal at the 9-yard line. And off to the races again is Goff, and Goff gets it down near the 5-yard line. Jules Goff, you talk about guys that are being looked at, Duke and Boston College have both been expressing interest in his ability, so you can see why. 18 touchdowns this year, over 1,200 yards.
Now, my one concern will be, once Aiden Johnson does have to get in the game, he will come in a little bit cold. This game is well underway now, and he hasn't taken a snap.
So second down and 5, second down and goal. Here again, Goff, and they're very satisfied to just let him get into the end zone, and so Goff, from 5 yards out, slams his way in the end zone, and here at the 5:34 mark, Central has scored again.
So 5 or 6 offensive plays for Central York so far, and nothing but Wildcat loading up with the 2 cheater backs, either right or left. And it looks like Jules Goff has his options where he wants to go once he reads things.
Well, I'll tell you what, he has been tough so far. He scored both their touchdowns. We still have 5:34 to go in the first quarter. And right now it's 13-8. Is this game, the two teams living up to their offensive advanced publicity, so to speak. And now they go for 2. And how about this? Goff heading in the end zone for a 2-point conversion.
Actually, I think, Gary, that was Niger DeWitt.
Was it Niger DeWitt that time?
And I could have run that one in. It was so easy.
Niger DeWitt with a 2-point conversion. And so Central and York High slugging it out here in the first quarter. 15-8. Central's going on top of the 5:34 mark. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. It's the High School Sports Live TV Game of the Week here on Fox 43.2.
The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambavo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jack Giambavo Mazda. The Giambavo family of dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambavo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambavo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at Giambavo.com.
And welcome back to Smalls Athletic Field. Matthew Parker getting ready to kick off. You talk about a high-flying game early. 5:34 to go in the first quarter. Central with a touchdown on a second Jules Goff run, and now Matthew Parker's going to kick it off. Short kick downfield. Takes a big Central roll. Picked up there by York High, and now trying to get out of there and run it back. And only getting back to the 25-yard line is a Bearcat. And that Bearcat is going to be number 26. That's James Fountain, one of the honorees tonight and senior night here at Smalls Athletic Field.
Yeah, the fact that both teams have now gone for 2 points tells you exactly what kind of game they think it is. Of course, York High set the tempo with that, scoring and getting ahead 8-7, and Central York felt they had to match that.
So point, counterpoint, and now you get a chance of your York High to have to come back and answer again. Let's see what they do here. They're down 15-8. Still 5:29 to go here in the first quarter. You're watching it all on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2. Stoner calling out the signals here. Stoner looking downfield. Stoner with a man open and almost intercepted instead. He was trying to catch up to David Ward, his favorite receiver, and he had him just for a moment, just maybe underthrew him a bit.
That was nice coverage by Carter Vaughn. He ran with him the whole way. That inside fade route is sometimes hard to cover, and what I mean by that is the slot receiver, and Ward is a very good receiver with 50 catches this year. A lot of room to run when you're the slot receiver, and when you're running that little go or fade route from the slot, there's a lot of area you have to cover as a D-back.
Nice touch of the ball there by Stoner. They're really laying it out there for him and just missing maybe by a foot.
Yeah.
Be second down and 10 now. Ball at the 25-yard line of York High. Notice William Penn of York, but everybody here knows him as York High. Used to have a William Penn of Harrisburg as well.
Yes.
Where that all combined into Harrisburg High. Here's Stoner. Stoner moving to his left. Stoner finding a man and just throwing past him
Yeah, he had him open there for a first down. And this comes up, this is our first third down situation, 3rd and 10.
Trying to find Ja'Kai Joseph there on the pass out in the wing.
And I'll apologize now, but Mom and Dad, if you're the parents of a punter, we may not see them a whole lot tonight.
Stoner comes over to get the offense from his offensive coordinator, heads back out. So it's 3rd down now and 10 yards to go. 5:20 to go here in the first quarter. Two men in the backfield with Stoner this time. 2 receivers near side, 1 man in motion. That's White. Here's Stoner. Looking back, little screenplay coming up. And not going to get very much out of that as the screenplay to the middle. And they found number 10, that was James McBride, but nothing doing there, and so it's going to have to be a punting situation here for the Bearcats.
Well, we think it's a punting situation. I obviously, for many years in football, you punted on 4th and 7, but they are not in a punting situation. Now, Stoner does kick off, so he might also be the punter.
Looks like he's backing up now.
Yeah.
He's going to do what we've seen so many times the past few weeks. And Stoner, very quick kick out of there. Going to root for a bounce here as the ball will bounce down inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line. Not too bad, but that's where offensive possession number 3 will happen for Central from their own 38.
So good field position for Central York starting their 3rd drive. And this is a situation where if you're going to use Aiden Johnson at all, and I won't mention his name again if he's not going to come in, but this might be a situation where you can get him a couple of snaps to hand the ball off, but I think they're going to go Wildcat again.
In this kind of game where we're seeing so much offense, this is a huge possession, Bill, in the first quarter? I know it's early.
Because they haven't been able to stop Central York, I think it's a very big possession, and especially since Central York kind of dominated this series last couple of years.
Well, here's Goff again. Goff fakes to the right. Looked like he's almost going to punt it, and instead slashes forward over the 40, out to the 42, maybe the 43-yard line. Jules Goff again continues to be the sole offense they've had so far.
Yeah, he faked towards the 2 cheater backs and wanted to come back on a little counter action. Didn't look like he picked up much, but he picked up 4 yards.
Both these teams certainly testing each other's defense. We said Central gives up just under 20 points a game. York High does give up 29 points a game. That is a big differential here this evening.
It is a concern, and a concern going into future weeks as well.
Right now, Goff is just saying, stop me if you can, and so far no one's been able to stop him. He gets down near first down yardage, probably about a yard short. That'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, official on our sideline is giving him the first down.
And he'll give a first down, exactly right. It looked like he came up just a little bit short. We were looking right down the line here, but the official said not tonight.
So this could be a game where we don't see Central York pass the ball at all. One, it keeps York High and Stoner and White off the field. And 2, it eats up a lot of clock. And if you go up 2 scores and you can keep doing this, look out.
So far you don't have to. And this whole left side's open. I wonder if at any point in time he'll test the left side because no one's out there. But why do that when you can do this? Another first down for Jules Goff as he's inside the 40-yard line of York High, and Central is rolling again.
Central York is not afraid to run the football all year, so it's not something like they had to adjust to. They like to throw the football, but they're a good mixed offense or balanced offense, so it's not like they're uncomfortable doing this.
Another first down here for the Panthers as they are at the 38-yard line now of York High. Goff again gets it. Goff straight up the middle. Goff gets forward for positive yardage inside the 35, down near the 33. So far, basically Central saying, here's what we got. Stop it if you can.
So when does York make the decision that they're going to start jamming the box? And I'm going to have to take a closer look at this. Jamming the box with 9-10 guys and just covering the one wide out that Central's putting out there.
Getting 5 yards at a clip every single time. Russ Stoner down there walking the near sideline saying, what are we going to do?
And can Jules Goff throw the football?
So one man out here in the flat. Here he is again. He faked it left, rolls right, bangs it down near the 30-yard line, where it should bring up 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, he got popped on that one, and York has 9 guys within 3 yards of the football. They're playing one-on-one with the outside receiver, and they have 9 guys up within 3 yards, and then they have 1 safety maybe at 5 yards.
This looks like a very confident Central team. We saw them opening game of the season against Cumberland Valley go down big in the first half. We saw them get their confidence in the second half. This is a much different team that we're seeing right now, Bill.
Yeah, we're going to end up with a 3rd and 6 now. Central jumped.
So they're going to walk that one back 5 yards. 3rd and 6.
But this is a 4 in this type of game. This is a 4-down territory situation. So pick up 4 or 5 here.
This is kind of amazing when you watch it so far. Not one pass has been thrown. Not one other player has carried the ball other than Goff.
And how many times can you run Jules Goff? I mean, you can't run him 60 plays.
Guess what? He's on track right now to do exactly that. And it doesn't look like anybody's standing in the wings of the bullpen to replace him. Here he goes again. Goff off the right side. Goff keeps it alive. Goff down the sideline. Goff with a 1st down.
Yeah, very impressive. They had him behind the sticks finally, and that was a big chance for York High to put the hammer down, and Goff just patiently went through the hole.
We may not see 2 more impressive running backs in a game than we're seeing tonight this year with White and Goff.
Yeah, this is a real treat to be able to watch both these kids.
Take a look at this and watch this young man. Now watch this. Looks like he's shut down. He slithers through a hole, basically a sliver, to get that 1st down. So it's 1st down from the 20-yard line. And again, near sideline. And who else? Jules Goff. You want to say, oh my Goff, right now, because that's what you're getting.
I'm very curious as to the week of practice at York, or Central York, I'm sorry. And when they knew that this was going to be their game plan, and, you know, as a head coach, you basically go to your star running back and say, hey, you're going to carry the ball 40 times this week.
You wonder also if York High's a little thrown off tonight by having, not a quarterback in there, but the Wildcat every single time. And again, you're going to have illegal procedure here, looks like, against Central. So we'll walk it back again 5 yards.
Yeah, this is the one thing, and we talked about this when we did the Trinity game, and they were using multiple backs to call the signals. And Gary, you had brought up a good point in that game about how it can throw you off, because there were multiple offside penalties or procedure penalties on both teams that night, and you get used to a certain signal.
1st down and 15. Goff inside handoff. Little different look this time as Goff went to the right, but he handed off to the inside. And on that play, they used Niger DeWitt. So he'll pick up 6, get down to 2nd and 9 now. 2nd and goal from the 9.
Yeah, it has to be 2nd and goal because they don't have the sticks
right.
up.
So 2nd and goal from the 9.
This situation's where Coach Jancha, right here, he can still be patient and see what Jules Goff can pick up on 2nd down.
First time that anybody other than Goff carried the ball this evening for Central. Here's Goff again. Goff rolling right, trying to get to the corner. Inside the 10, to the 5. Looking to get in. And is he just a little bit short?
Yeah, about the 1.
So Goff out at the 1-yard line now. This drive started back on the 38 for Central, so it's a 61-yard drive to this point.
Yeah, when Goff runs that outside sweep, looks like he just kind of has a 3rd gear before he switches into 4th gear to get around the corner.
Take a look at this. Again, kind of cruising, and then just steps into it. And steps out right at the 1-yard line. So 3rd down and goal as the score clock went off for a second there. Who do you think might carry this one in? Oh, and this time he's met in the backfield, and they might have stopped him right here. It'll bring up a 4th and 1. So York High meets Jules Goff for the first time tonight and Parker in there leading the charge.
And I think Central York will go for it here. If you get it, you go up 2 full scores. If you don't, you have them on the 1 yard line.
And forgive me there, I said Parker was Azahir Upson, number 99, leading the charge there. He's a junior.
He got some early penetration.
Big guy right in the middle there. So huge play here at this point in the game.
They've
4th down and goal.
Got to be going left here.
There he goes. And in for the touchdown, a 1-yard dive. 1-yard dive by Jules Goff here at the 32-second mark of the first quarter. And big one for Central again, as they now assume a pretty good lead here in the first quarter and lots of points on the board already.
I'm going to assume that Jules Goff is not going to play any defense tonight. It's the true 48-minute warrior.
So here's Parker in now. They're going to try the normal 1-point conversion. Matthew Parker, 99 on the other side. And Parker will kick it up and do the honors. And it's good. And just like that, 22-8. Central leads it. 32 seconds to go in the first quarter. We'll take a very quick break. We'll be right back. This is the High School Sports Live TV Game of the Week on Fox 43.2.
Everybody knows Hoffman has it. Did you know Hoffman has even more? There's the fully stocked Hoffman Ford Parts and Accessories Department, the Hoffman state-of-the-art collision facility, confidence in our ultra-modern service facility, peace of mind with master technicians, satisfaction with low prices.
Do I really need to say it again? Hoffman has it.
Only at Hoffman Ford, Colonial Park.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
15 carries for 143 yards. That was 11 plays, 62 yards, 402 it took, and Goff 56 of 62 yards on the drive, all but 6. Those 6 were Niger DeWitt. But 15 carries in the first quarter, Bill Chase. We're not quite done with it officially, but 143 yards in quarter number 1 for Jules Goff.
Yeah, I might be wrong, but I can't believe that pace is sustainable. And we're going to find out. If York High keeps scoring, then obviously Central has to.
There's Parker kicking off and just drilling it. It's going to be picked up at the 40-yard line there for York High. Covering it up was James McBride, and York High will have decent field position here to set up, and they need a touchdown big right now.
Yeah, it's amazing games we've covered this year, how many times teams refuse to kick off deep anymore. They're willing to give teams field position at the 40, 45-yard line with just a squib kick, and I just can't agree with that philosophy. You supposedly have good athletes running down the field to cover the kickoffs.
So the 40-yard line is where York High will start their third drive of the game. 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Still, Sam Stoner rolls near side. Sam Stoner's going to keep it and run it himself. Stoner, nice pickup of the play. Probably about 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3 as he gets it out to the 47-yard line.
The way he reacted, it looked like that was a designed run the whole way. Empty backfield, he starts to roll, and then heads right up into the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring us to the end of the quarter.
Yeah, we're working down the end of the quarter, and a big first quarter it was. Kind of what we expected, some fireworks here at Small Athletic Field. 22-8, Central leads York High. It's the Battle of the Cats for the YAIA Division I Championship, all here on High School Sports Live TV's Game of the Week on Fox 43.2. Back right after this.
If it's used car peace of mind you're looking for, Hoffman has it. Hoffman Ford brings you a wide selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, carefully chosen and inspected for dependable driving pleasure. For the ultimate peace of mind, shop the Hoffman collection of Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicles. If you're looking for a used vehicle, you can feel good about your loved one's driving.
Hoffman has it.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
At Capital Blue Cross, there are more yeses and fewer nos. Protecting your health and making it easier so you can spend time on what makes you smile. Helping our communities, your families, your businesses, big and small. We have you covered, going the extra mile. It's what we do. Capital Blue Cross, going the extra mile for you.
And York High will start the second quarter here with a nice pitch to David Ward, who came around the near side and out to about the 49-yard line. Will bring up a 3rd down and 2. And let's take a look at it again. Here's a jet sweep.
Yeah, just a little toss. Some teams, like I said previously in games, they like to ride it and hand it off. York decided to give that little shovel pass pitch.
They need to get to the 49-yard line of Central. They're at their own 49 right now. So 3rd and 2 for the Bearcats. Jaheim White back there with Stoner. Stoner steps his receiver back on the far side, 1 step. Stoner, long count here, trying to draw him off sides. Stoner to Jaheim White. Instead, Stoner keeps it himself. Stoner trying to get to the 49-yard. He dragged down. It's going to be very, very close. He got over the 50, but I'm not sure how far.
Yeah, it looks like they're pointing to move the sticks.
And where the official has it right now, it looks like a 1st down.
Yeah, watching David Ward, their leading receiver, run that jet sweep 2 plays back. I want to see him, and I can understand now why he has number of receptions and touchdowns that he does. He has that easy type of speed where it doesn't look like he's really running that hard, but he's covering a lot of ground.
Ball at the 48-yard line here for the Bearcats. 2 receivers near side, 1 far side. White in the backfield with Stoner. Now Stoner straight back. Stoner looking to pass. Stoner in the pocket, looks near sideline, throws. It's broken up on the play by Central's Ethan Carlos. Nice job by Carlos over there.
I think we have a flag. Looks like probably going to be holding.
So holding against York High. And so we'll take it back here. So York High with a big penalty here in that moment.
I'm a little bit surprised that they're not running Jaheim White a little bit more. This is a guy that has 1,480 yards, 10.7 yards per carry.
24 touchdowns.
24 touchdowns.
30 overall.
Yeah, that's just 24.
And it's a pretty good receiver,
24
too.
on the ground.
You know, you think about maybe getting him out there receiver in the flat
Yeah.
where he can, get you one-on-one as an athlete. And we'll see what happens here. 2nd down and 22 now for the Bearcats. 11:21 to go until halftime. Don't forget we'll have our Jack Giambalvo halftime report coming up. Here's Stoner again, passing. Now Stoner flushed out of the pocket. Just looks across the middle. Had a man there just for a moment. It looked like David Ward coming across there. It's interesting, they're going to the passing game right now when they use the run so well. Mixed up a little bit of passing the first drive.
Well, I understand it now because you're way, way behind the sticks. But and Stoner's clearly a quality quarterback. I mean, his stats alone, he completes 64% of his passes, which is a dream in high school. And he has 20 touchdown passes. So you don't have the scoring average that York High has, just being one-dimensional.
93 out of 142 for 1536 coming into this game tonight. So he's got the credentials for sure. Stoner again. Going for the far side. He's going to keep it himself. And finally out of bounds near the 44-yard line. So the drive is going to stall here, at least for the moment, for the Bearcats. We'll wait and see if they punt it out again. Looked like a promising drive until that holding call cost him 15 yards.
I think we only have 3rd down.
I was going to say 3rd down now, although they have 4 on the board. So 3rd down, 22. The old Central York High School used to be about less than probably a half a mile from here.
Yeah, it was a good pitching wedge away, and
so trips near side this time. One guy in the backfield, that's White, with Stoner. Stoner looking, Stoner downfield. Does he have his man? No, and he is brought down there. Now it is going to be 4th down, incomplete pass.
Now this really puts York High in a difficult situation because they clearly have to punt here, and you're giving Central York the ball back, which you haven't been able to stop at all.
Right. Yeah, Jules Goff and company have been right down your grill so far. So it'll be 4th down now. Ball at the 43-yard line. Stoner, nice punt out of there. Especially for the short distance you're getting that punt from. Now, here's the run back coming. Look out. You're going to get a block in the back, I think, back there for Central.
Yeah, that was a nice job by Carter Vaughn returning the punt, fielded it on one bounce. But that's going to come back.
So 10:04 to go to the half here. Again, our Jack Giambalvo halftime report coming up at the half. And we'll have all the stats for you and the highlights of the first half. Our Capital Blue Cross and AT&T halftime stats, our Capital Region first half highlights. Again, thanks to Jack Giambalvo for sponsoring our halftime. And here you see he picks it up here, and then you'll see the block in the back right there. Easy call for the official. So they walk it back now, and Central's starting position here will be just a little bit different. So it's at the 15-yard line this time. Their starts so far have been their own 34, the 20 of York High, the 38 of Central, and now the 15 of Central. They get the ball to start out here first and 10, 10:04 to go to half. And all of a sudden, they finally stopped Goff for the first time. And you heard the fans here. They had something to cheer about.
Yeah, I'm not sure Goff's in right now. I didn't catch the number who's in there.
Let's take a look again.
Might be number 5, Parker Hines.
It's either Parker Hines or
number 6. Well, maybe he is in there. I don't think that he is, though.
And again, it's interesting what Jerry Yanchik has done here tonight. Maybe crossing up if York High was looking for a regular quarterback, and it looks like they've got a Johnny Walker in there now, and that's who carried in the last play, a Johnny Walker. No, check that again. It's going to be Parker Hines now.
Yeah, nice run there.
But Johnny Walker was back there in the threesome, but he did not get the ball. So it's Parker Hines with the carry.
And he picked up a nice, solid 9 yards there, make it 3rd and 2. And that was my question on this drive. With them being ahead by 2 scores, would Coach Janczek give Goff a series off so as not to tax him too severely in the first half?
And now you have a working lead, so you can afford to do that a little bit. So here we go again. It's make that 3rd down now and 2 for Central. And same old.
Nice job.
Over the right side and still open, and look out. Off to the races, and it's going to be another one taken to the house here as it's Parker Hines all the way down the field. And again, this time for a 77-yard touchdown run. Parker Hines, another big play at the 8:34 mark here of quarter number 2. Parker Hines, 77-yard run, and just like that, Central is up right now 28-8.
Yeah, I like the way he was real patient in the beginning of that run. He saw a little seam, planted his right foot, and boy, he showed some nice speed there. So Jules Goff, take it easy for right now. Keep the oxygen mask on.
People ask what's going to happen when Bo Pribula goes to Penn State. Guess what? This team has just reloaded. Here's Parker in for the extra point. Snap down, kick up. Kick good. And it is 29-8 with 8:34 to go in the first half. Central with a commanding lead, all here on High School Sports Live TV's Game of the Week on Fox 43.2. And a 77-yard run to go along with the 65-yard run by Jules Goff to start the game. Another big play here for Central, Bill Chase, and they are in command here in the second quarter, 29-8.
Yeah, York High's defense has already given up what their season average is, and we still have 8 minutes to go in the first half.
So here's a kickoff again, the squib kick downfield. Need to cover it up. Ball's loose, and you dive on it there. And getting on top of it for York High looked like number 30, Montrose Jackson. So York High gets the ball at their own 25-yard line. Make that to 24 now. It'll be 1st and 10.
I think what York has to do here in this drive is go back to what they did in the first drive, is be a little patient, get Jaheim White involved in the offense again.
Because he's capable of the big breakaway, too, at any time.
He is. And you can't put your defense right back on the field.
So here's the handoff to White, and they must have heard you, Bill Chase, as White's going to get in on the right side. Not a big gain there, maybe a couple of yards.
Yeah, and don't get panicky because, you know, he picked up only 3 yards. He's your go-to guy. Look for Ward on a couple of the out routes that you ran earlier, maybe a little hitch route.
So it'll be 2nd down now. Gain of 3 on the play. Ball out to the 27-yard line for York High. York High's 2 losses this year to Woodland Hills, great school out in Pittsburgh, and also Hempfield by 4. That's the common opponent that, and look at this, look at White right here. Just turning back, getting the far side, is going to get out of bounds, but get the 1st down here for the Bearcats. So just like that, come near side, turns around, makes something out of nothing.
Yeah, that's what a really great running back can do for you, is he can pick up yards where you don't have to necessarily make great blocks. You just can't allow that early penetration. And, yeah, York High lost their first 2 games this year, as Gary said, to Woodland Hills out of the WPIL, and Hempfield, who is one of the top teams in District 3. Central York also played Hempfield, and they beat Hempfield.
And that was right after they had played Cumberland Valley and lost, so they came back with a vengeance on that. Here's your inside handoff to White. White, near side. White out near the 40-yard line, drags him in with him out to about the 41. So it'll be 2nd down now at the 41-yard line. It'll be 3 yards to go. And again, it doesn't look like he's picking up 7 yards, but just like that, he can get it in a hurry.
Yeah, and Coach Stoner's settled him down. He's done the right thing. He's putting the ball in his stars' hands, and that's what you do. That's why you have these kids on the team that are designated as superstars to come up and play in moments like this. And I rarely say this in a game, but I really feel like York has to score in this drive.
Yeah, I really do too. It's down right now by 21 points in this one, and still in the first half, but Central looks unstoppable so far. You'd like to keep that Central offense off the field for a little while. So here again, faking it, throw across the middle, nice pass by Stoner. Hits his man right in the numbers. That's Omarion Newsom, his 6th catch of the season. And a nice pass by Stoner. Good play action on that as well.
Yeah, a little slant action. He actually looked to ride the running back real quickly, and then the slant came. He put it right on the numbers. Good use of the hands by the receiver, tall receiver.
Newsom with his first catch of the night here. Parker Hines, by the way, we were talking about him last year, had a 99-yard touchdown catch on High School Sports Live TV. Remember that one?
He showed some good speed.
So it'll be 1st down and 10, ball at the 48-yard line here of the Bearcats. As you said, the word settle down here comes to mind, the 2 words. Here's White. White to the 45, diving down near the 42-yard line. Nice pickup on 2nd down here.
Yeah, and keep this going. Score here. Take 3 or 4 more minutes off the clock. Clearly, Central York has shown they're not going to throw the football, not yet anyways. So if you give them the ball back with 1.5, 2 minutes to go, maybe you can get in the half, and you get the ball to start the 2nd half.
2nd down and 4, ball down at the 43-yard line of the Panthers. York High Bearcats on a march. The answer is Central's opening touchdown with this kind of march in the first quarter. Here comes White. White across the 40. White bangs there and gets it down near the 35-yard line. Looks like he has enough for the 1st down. Jaheim White showing he's a pretty tough runner as well as being quick.
Yeah, and he's answering the bell right now. He's going to come to the sideline right now, so they'll have to put somebody in for him. But this is what York High needs to do. The ideal situation is for them to run some time off the clock, score a touchdown, maybe go for 2.
Get a little momentum going.
And then hold Central York and not allow them to score before halftime and get the ball back to start the half.
So York High now with a 1st and 10, ball down at the 36-yard line of Central. And here's a different player off that right side, banging over the right side, and we're talking about Montress Jackson showing you some quickness and also some power combined.
Yeah, he's only 5'10", 240. I never liked playing D-back when a 240 running back finally came into the secondary after me.
And when he's hunting you as well, trying to run over you, right?
He had a nice clear lane off tackle there and bounced it, and he wasn't looking to avoid people.
Montress Jackson averages 6.1 yards every time he runs. Right there, he picks up more than that. So 2nd down and 1. Again, this is one of those plays where you can do kind of what you want to do because you know you're in 4-down territory for sure.
Well, I want to get the first.
And there you're now going to get illegal procedure, I think, against York High. Let's see who violated the neutral zone first. They're pointing at Central.
Yeah, and this is. So they must have broken the plane. This is not like in the pros. The offensive linemen can't jump up because they're being threatened or because once Central York crosses the plane, the defense crosses the plane, the penalty's thrown, the ball's dead. So as I was saying, this sounds strange, I don't want to score too quick here.
Yeah, exactly right. You want to work that clock a little bit. So it'll be 1st down and 10, ball at the 22-yard line of the Panthers. Fake to Jackson, throw across the middle, and the catch is completed right there. As over on the near sideline here, they found Quentin Price that time, another receiver.
Yeah, nice little completion. You picked up 5 yards. It keeps the clock running.
Almost becomes like a running play there, doesn't it? Just a short pitch and catch, although you would have liked to have gotten him up in the air a little bit more and maybe been able to run. But quick pick up there, 6 yards. Near side, 2 receivers. Far side, 2 receivers. Jackson in there in the backfield with Stoner. Really like Stoner as a quarterback. Just very heady.
Yeah, again, as I said earlier,
There's
Coach's
Jackson.
sons.
Boy, look at Jack. Jackson looks like a guy who's just hunting for the contact.
Yeah, they wipe out that whole right side, and all of a sudden he's into the secondary. And like I said, at 240, that's not a lot of fun.
Well, you get a little bit of Jaheim White, and now you get the power of Jackson just banging. And it's another 1st down here as the ball's down to the 10-yard line. Make that 11 so they can get a 1st down without getting a touchdown, it looks like.
Yeah, and White's back in the backfield. Jackson's coming out now.
So here's White back there. Jackson did his job, got him a couple 1st downs here. Gets a pat on the head from the offensive coordinator. So Jaheim White back there now with Stoner. And they have them spread out. You got to think there's probably going to be a run play here. Across the middle, nice pass from Stoner, and it's going to be broken up. His target there again was Omarion Newsom. Looked like he might have had him just for a second.
Yeah, it's that same slant action that they completed out here around midfield a little bit earlier.
Carter Vaughn with the coverage on the play. Take a look. Might have been just a slight bit behind him. Take a look. He had to reach back there, but Carter Vaughn broke it up nicely.
Carter Vaughn's had a good game in the secondary. That's the 3rd pass play he's broken up that I recall. Back to Jaheim White here. You came down all this way, basically chunking the ball on the ground. I hate to see you put the ball up. If you put it up here and it's incomplete, you almost have to put it up on 3rd down.
This drive started at the 24-yard line, and that's up in the air. And so now it brings you to a 3rd down and 10, kind of off schedule here again.
Yeah, and that's what I was afraid of. I just a lot of things I loved throwing the football when I was coaching, and it's a fun part of the game, but sometimes it doesn't dictate what within the course of the game what you should be doing.
So far, Jaheim White in the game, first 10 carries for 40 yards.
I think they're going to try to fool Central York here and run the football.
So run in a situation where it calls for a pass normally. They do, and White does exactly what you said was going to happen and runs it in for a touchdown. Jaheim White here at the 2:56 mark of the 2nd quarter with an 11-yard touchdown run. And Jaheim White with his first of the night. We say first because he's usually good for a few more than that.
Yeah, that was a nice burst. Boy, once he hit that second level, and he just exploded through there. He saw the orange and blue of the goal line.
So Jaheim White, and again, great call there, Coach. You said cross him up, but a situation looked like a pass. They went with a run.
Well, mostly because you threw 2 incompletions back to back. You've got an all-state running back going for 2.
So here you're on the Wildcat, too, with Jaheim White. He loses it, picks it up. White trying to get in the end zone, and he does. 2 more, and White, for a second time tonight, has converted 2, and York High has got it back to 29-16. We take a break. We come right back. This is the High School Sports Live TV Game of the Week, right here on Fox 43.2.
Good drive.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rentals, parts, and service needs of its customer. Students, begin your professional journey in a high-demand field with Groff Tractor. Contact us today to discover the power of our technician internship programs. Groff Tractor also offers scheduled maintenance along with 24/7 emergency service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
And Jaheim White with the 11-yard run and then follows up with a 2-yard conversion. Makes it 29-16. Central leads at 76-yard march there for York High, showing great poise here on the comeback and a nice answer, Bill.
Well, that was phase 1 of the 3 phases they need to be able to do here to get back in this game.
And watch out, here's DeWitt trying to get to the outside. DeWitt so quick, and he's getting out to the 40-yard line. DeWitt down the far sideline out near the 47. It looks like where he went out of bounds.
We're going to have a flag, Gary, and another flag.
And that flag probably is for something that was said.
So on Niger DeWitt's run there, he fielded the ball all the way over here on the York High sideline, and he was able to cross all the way across to their sideline. You can't let that happen on a kickoff return.
Especially for a guy as quick as DeWitt. This guy's like a blur. So it's going to go back against Central here.
So as I said, phase 1 was completed in what they need to do as far as the comeback, and that was to score. They got the 2 points. Phase 2 now is going to be to hold them here.
But you got to get a stop, and you have not been able to have that so far tonight.
But there's only 2:47 left, and they haven't been willing to throw the football. If Central York can go down and run the football in 2:47 and go down and score, this is going to be a long night for William Penn. But if William Penn can hold them here, they get the ball to start the second half. Now all of a sudden you can go down, get your own touchdown, and you got a 1-score game again.
Jerry Janchik has been using, for the most part, Jules Goff, although last time the touchdown was Parker Hines. They used him for a couple series. So now you have Central here in their 5th time with a football.
And
not been stopped yet.
I believe Goff's back in. And they're unbalanced towards Central sideline, and that's where they're going. Well, he bounces back this way.
Right up the middle, out over the 30-yard line. Pickup of close to 4 on the play. 2:37 now to go to the half. Again, our Jack Giambalvo halftime report coming your way.
Both teams do have all 3 of their timeouts.
It'll be second down now and 7. We'll give them officially a pickup of 3 on the play.
And unless Central York gets behind the sticks significantly, I would hope York High would not use their timeouts here.
2:13 to go. Central doesn't appear to be in any great hurry right now.
They stretch that one out really nicely.
Here comes Goff, and this time, great job
now
by York High.
Now I might use a timeout
and
from
you
York
saw
High.
Joseph Chakai with a good stop there near side as he smelled that one out.
See, this is where I think York High should use their timeout because you have them behind the sticks. They haven't shown the ability to throw the football. Let's get the football back, but they're going to let 30 seconds run off at least.
So no call here for York High on the timeout.
I think what Janchik's going to do is let the clock run down, and then he'll call timeout.
So it ticks on down here. 1:15. Again, Central probably going to be satisfied to try to get into the half here at some point. And, you know, it's kind of surprising. You thought York High might call a timeout there and get the ball back and have a little time to work with, right?
Yeah, they let 30 seconds, 35 seconds go by. I understand where they're at. They need to regroup defensively. But you did have a chance there to hold them on third down and get that ball back quite possibly around your own 35, 40-yard line. When you have guys like Ward and White as playmakers, you can score from almost anywhere.
So 1:05 to go here in the half. 29-16, Central leads it. Central with a third down now and 7 yards to go. And let's see what they dial up here. Jerry Janczyk.
Here's a formation we haven't seen. I think that's Niger DeWitt in the backfield and not Goff.
It is Niger DeWitt back there. DeWitt fakes it. DeWitt has some running room. Look out a hole, and he can get through it quickly. DeWitt gets the first down, and now you get a long throw for the flag. I mean, you got to watch that one.
Well, they had him right at the line of scrimmage there. That would have been a big stop for them. This will be a big penalty.
Tell you, that official must have thrown that flag 25 yards.
And showing off his arm.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and it's against Central, or against York High, rather. Wow.
Now we got a real change in the dynamic here because this is going to put them on the other side of the 50.
Personal foul. And so now Central, a little different situation. Here you see Niger DeWitt. Oh, and there, I guess, hitting him up around the head. Is that what they were looking at there on the play?
Well, he did. The official did signal that.
So 53 seconds to go here.
Pass.
Looking to pass, and they've got a man downfield. It's Parker Hines. Parker Hines loose. Parker Hines down to the 15-yard line. And that first pass of the game for Central gets done at 45 seconds here in the first half.
And that's what I had asked earlier. Could Jules Goff throw the football? He clearly can.
Nice little loop down there, pitch and catch. You have to respect him for the run every time, and he throws it.
It's very difficult, but you know when you're the corner, you have one job, and they're only putting one wideout out there.
So now 36 seconds to go. The clock is running.
This will be a backbreaker.
Here's Goff. Goff, right over the right side. Goff in behind those blockers and down inside the 10-yard line. They probably are going to call timeout here right away, aren't they?
I would think yes.
And there it is, 21.4 seconds to go in the half. And a timeout is called by Central. We'll take one as well. This is High School Sports Live TV's Game of the Week on Fox 43.2.
At Capital Blue Cross, there are more yeses and fewer nos. Protecting your health and making it easier so you can spend time on what makes you smile. Helping our communities, your families, your businesses, big and small. We have you covered, going the extra mile. It's what we do. Capital Blue Cross, going the extra mile for you.
Fans, Advanced Hoops Winter Program is out and ready to roll. Skill builders for kids into kindergarten through 4th grade. A special 3rd and 4th grade boys and girls 5-on-5, 5th and 6th competition games classes, as well as a middle school boys league on Sunday nights. Perfect for kids who get cut for the basketball team or kids that want more playing experience during the winter months. Go to www.advancedhoops.com. Gary Sutton, Bill Chase with you here. 21.4 seconds to go in the half. Central has a 29-16 lead in a second down and 2 to go. They called their first timeout right here.
Now York needs to make 2 stops because there's only 1 timeout left for Central York.
So their second timeout called. They have 1 left. Let's see what they have here.
They need to sell out and stop Jules Goff here. They're not. I don't see them throwing the ball here now.
So Jules Goff in the backfield, the Wildcat, where he's been most of the first half. Goff wearing 0. He's done anything but tonight. He's been dynamite. That whole left side's been open all night long. It's going to be interesting if he ever goes there. There's that inside handoff. And again, it's DeWitt. And DeWitt's going to get in there to the outside. An 8-yard run with the inside handoff to Niger DeWitt. I wondered if they go to that left side, and there they go with Niger DeWitt.
Yeah, that was a backbreaker right there. You had them down here at 3rd and 8. And you had DeWitt stopped in the backfield. And then you ended up with the first down plus the 15-yard penalty.
So now Parker back in to put up the extra point effort. The Central's now going up 35-16, about to try to put it up 20. With 17 seconds to go here in the first half. Snap down, kick up, kick is good, and Matthew Parker with another extra point makes it 36-16 with 17 seconds to go in the first half. We'll take a break. We'll be right back on Fox 43.2.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
And welcome back to Smalls Athletic Field, where Central has been dominant here in the first half, 36-16. York High has not been able to get them off the field one time, Bill.
No, and that's been disastrous for them. They had the chance there. They had gone down, made an excellent drive, very composed, classy drive, and
6 plays, 74 yards, 239, 5 runs, 1 pass for Central on that one. So very efficient again for the Panthers as Parker will kick it off. Again, kick it away from Jaheim White. Up the near sideline comes York High, out near the 40-yard line, maybe the 41, where they have 12.8 seconds to go here in the first half. And do you try to make one heave down the field here and see what you can do?
Well, as I said, I really like when I saw David Ward run that jet sweep. He has that easy speed, so I'd like to see what he can go flat out. He clearly is their top receiver, so you know, how far can Stoner put the ball up in the air? We'll see. But, yeah, I think you take a shot at it.
York High had a nice drive last time with the 11-yard run by Jaheim White into the end zone, the 2-point conversion. So here they are again. Just 12.8 seconds to go to the half. Let's see what the Bearcats can dial up right here.
Yeah, Ward's in the slot, and I think Central's playing too tight in the safety positions.
There's Stoner. Stoner back. Stoner's going to look deep. Stoner running far side, throws downfield. Intercepted by Central. So Stoner throws the interception. It's picked off, and it'll be run back to the 40-yard line with 1.2 seconds to go in the half. And the pickoff there for Central was Carter Vaughn again, who's been dynamite all night.
He's been my man all night. He's been playing tough in the secondary.
So Carter White picks off the pass here from Sam Stoner.
Now, generally, I would say you take a knee here, but with the explosiveness of DeWitt and Hines and Goff in the backfield,
maybe not. One point. I see rolling far side. There's Stoner. You can see, and Vaughn is playing him the whole way down. Carter Vaughn does a great job back there. So first down and 10 now. The ball at the 43-yard line of the Bearcats. And let's see if they choose to take a knee or if they choose to just get one more run and see what they can do. And they're just going to take the knee, and that will end the first half. And we are at the half. 36-16. Central leads it. However, Jack Giambalvo halftime report coming up next. Our Capital Blue Cross and AT&T halftime stats and the Capital Region Insurance Agency first half highlights, all for you right here on Fox 43.2. Back right after this.
I'm excited to be here with Tom Couch, the Vice President for the Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. Tom, you and your staff have served this community in so many ways over the years. High School Sports Live thanks you for being a part of what we do, but you served the York area community a lot longer than just us. Talk about how excited you guys are to keep this tradition going.
You know, Jack Giambalvo started the business in the early 70s, and you know, he was born and raised in York, and this is where he wanted to start his company and grow it, and he's done a fabulous job with it. And you know, we have 10 different franchises in 4 locations, so we've grown to a point where Jack has always wanted to make sure, and his son John, to give back to the community. And so we look at High School Sports Live as an opportunity to give back and also have an awareness to our company with the young kids today.
The new Mazda dealership is, man, this is state of the art. Not only are you selling cars out of here, but you're giving people in the community job opportunities. Talk about the uniqueness of the job opportunities. It's the VOTEC kid at high school, it's the college graduate. Talk about those opportunities.
You know, in the world we live in today, it's tough being a young person today, and we realize that. And so some of the involvement areas that we focus on is, for example, the trade schools. And with the younger kids with VOTEC, they have an opportunity to learn a trade. So, for example, in our service department, being a technician, the days of just replacing spark plugs, filters, no, now it's very technologically advanced with computer skills. So we're involved with the kids from the VOTEC side with learning a trade of being a technician, and then also from the business side, if young people love cars and they've always been around cars and they just can see themselves, you know, having a career, being a salesperson can be very lucrative, and also you get to meet a lot of great people because everybody buys a car.
Now, you guys have also been creatively having to put people in cars. It's not just the new car, it's the used car, it's the max dollars on trade-ins. Talk about that, Tom. What does that look like right now for people in general?
Yeah, the supply chain issue we have in our world today affects us also, but what we try to do to be transparent with the customer is every car that we have committed from the factory to build, we have that on our website so people can come see what we have coming in. So we may not have 200 cars on ground right now, but there's availability for people to match their needs from new and used cars.
That's awesome.
The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambalvo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jack Giambalvo Mazda. The Giambalvo family of dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambalvo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at giambalvo.com.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rentals, parts, and service needs of its customer. Students, begin your professional journey in a high-demand field with Groff Tractor. Contact us today to discover the power of our technician internship programs. Groff Tractor also offers scheduled maintenance along with 24/7 emergency service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
And welcome back to our Jack Giambalvo halftime report. As you get to watch the York High Band, or is it the York High Band or the Central Band we're looking at right here? I think it might be the Central Band here at half. But nevertheless, it is a big number here at the half. It's 36-16. Central is leading. And we're not on camera this half because of the fact we have a little technical difficulty up here. So that's all you really need to know. But you hear our dulcet tones here. Gary Sutton, Bill Chase with you. Bill, your thoughts about the first half here?
Very classy performance by Central York. They knew coming in they weren't going to have their starting quarterback, and he's is a big part of their offense, big part of their team in the biggest game of the year, and they've thrown one pass. Haven't had to do any more than that because their running game has been so successful. They've played really solid defense. They have held York High well under their average to this point, and if they can continue to do that, then that's going to be all she wrote. And Carter Vaughn on defense has had a stellar first half with 3 pass breakups and the interception late in that half.
And you really haven't had the big numbers yet from Jaheim White, but you had 2 nice marches by York High, but you've kept him kind of under wraps. But again, they've gone to the pass a lot of times and gotten a little bit away from the run game. When they've come back to the run game and mixed it up, they've done pretty well with those 2 great marches in the first half. You look at Central, explosive. Jules Goff with the first 3 touchdowns, and then you toss in Parker Hines with a 77-yard run for a touchdown. You got DeWitt with a 6-yard run or 8-yard run for another touchdown. They just were dominant. And, you got to give credit here to Jerry Yanchik and his staff for really adjusting here. Nazir's still not there tonight at quarterback. He's been there all year long. He's not available for this game. And so what do? You go to the Wildcat, and you work it right, you work it left. And I'm not sure if York High was ready for that tonight. They didn't seem to really be ready for that deluge of running that they got there, especially from Jules Goff.
Well, the simple fact is that York High has struggled on defense. They're great on offense.
Yeah.
And they've scored, and they've played quality teams, particularly early in the year. They had a quality schedule. This is the toughest team they've played now, though, in 5 or 6 weeks. And I was curious to see where their defense was, because they just give up a lot of points.
29 points a game.
Yeah.
And that was the big question we had tonight at the beginning. We talked about that at the top of the show tonight, and it certainly turned out to be the case here. Central scoring 36 here in the first half alone. Let's take a look right now at our Capital Region first half highlights, and we'll see exactly what went on here in the first half, because there was a lot of fireworks here tonight. And our Capital Region Insurance Agency first half highlight. And you can see right out of the gate here comes Jules Goff right at you for a 65-yard run. That was the opening offensive play of the game. Talk about a backbreaker to start tonight.
Yeah, that just set the tone right away, and it makes you wonder, can they do it, continue to do it? And yes, they can.
York High on the other side came back with a nice march down the field and saw Sam Stoner run it in. And then here's White, Jaheim White with his touchdown here, or the two-point conversion, forgive me. And now Jules Goff come back. This time it's Jules Goff with a 5-yard run at the 5:35 mark of the first quarter. And once again, Goff right. How about Goff left? Just gliding in the end zone from 1 yard out. That put them up 22-8 at that particular point. And then he gets his own 2-point conversion to put him up 22-8, as you can see. Well, they weren't done with the big plays. Parker Hines.
This was an impressive run. See, but that's just bad tackling. You have opportunities to stop them.
77 yards on that run from scrimmage. That put him up big at that particular point. Parker Hines. And then coming back down with a good march, and on a place that looked like they might pass 11 yards out, Jaheim White runs it in, and then Jaheim White will get 2 more on the conversion right here on the Wildcat. Drops it, still picks it up, still gets into the end zone. And that brought it back to 29-16.
Yeah, and that's where we felt they had a chance to stay in the ball game, but they
little Niger DeWitt inside handoff going the other way, and Niger DeWitt in for a touchdown, and then Parker with the extra point, and takes us to right where we are right now, as you see the Central band out here on the field at the half, 36-16. Now, we'll take a look at our Capital Blue Cross and our AT&T halftime stats. Well, you see the score. We have the score a little bit wrong on the one side there. We have a 0 down. It actually should be 36-16, and we have the wrong numbers up there. So we'll get York High up for the 16 points to give them credit. But take a look at the first half numbers here.
The Central York numbers look right. The William Penn numbers are not.
Yeah, the William Penn numbers are a little bit off here at the half on our display.
But look at the rushing yards for Central York, 258 yards. Now a lot of times. We've had games earlier in the year where I said that's just not sustainable, and I was generally correct most of the time when I would say that.
but I think it is sustainable tonight. You could see this team rush for over 400, maybe 500 yards tonight.
So, yeah, and that's exactly where they're going tonight. So for York High, they got to figure out a way to get Central off the field here in the second half as we're getting our scores corrected up there and our other information up there as well. But, what do you do in the second half right now if you're Russ Stoner and York High to stop this barrage?
Well, first thing you're going to have to do, you have to score on the opening drive because Central York has not punted one time. And I kind of joked around about whether we would see the punters at all. York High's punted 3 times, and that's a huge difference in the game. Central York hasn't even come close to punting in the game, and if that continues, I don't know what to tell you. They need to tackle a little bit better. They need to fill gaps and find gaps in the defense a little quicker. And we'll see if they can do it. But that's the only. They're going to have to come up with 2 or 3 stops. Maybe some turnovers will play a factor, but it's not going to be an interception.
Going into the night tonight, the York Adams Interscholastic Athletic Association with Central and York High at 5-0. Dallastown behind them at 3-2 in Division I, and Southwestern at 2-3. Although Southwestern having a good year, 6-3 overall. Spring Grove 5-4 overall, but 2-3 also. In Division II of the York Area League, New Oxford 5-0 in the league, 7-1 overall. And then York Suburban 4-2 behind them, 6-3 overall. And there you now you see our numbers are corrected up there on the screen for our Capital Blue Cross and AT&T halftime stats. And 288 to 133. Looking a little bit different there, but still fairly dominant in the first half. You got Dover having a good season, 6-3. They're 3-2 there in Division II. But New Oxford looks like they're the team kind of going to win that division. And then finally in Division III, DeLone Catholic at 6-0. 1 game over Littlestown so far at 5-1. York Catholic comes in there at third at 4-2. They always have a pretty good program. And DeLone Catholic 6-3 overall, even though they're 6-0 in the league. You look at the districts, Bill. The districts so far, we have Central here. We're looking at tonight. Number 1. Obviously, York High number 6 tonight going in as well. Now, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and take a break before we get to the end of the half here. This is the Jack Giambalvo Halftime Report right here on High School Sports Live TV.
I'm with Dr. Callista Morris from OSS Health. She's an orthopedic sports medicine surgeon. Today, we're going to talk about shoulder injuries. What sport really kind of wins this, if you will, the injury battle?
Yeah, absolutely, hands down, as some people may guess, football wins that battle, but very close by are wrestling and baseball. Okay. When it comes to baseball, pitching is absolutely the number 1, more so than field players or catching. So pitchers are the biggest risk. Football is kind of a conglomerate. Yes, we see them in the quarterbacks, but those are more contact positions. Right. So wide receivers, running backs, they get hit a little bit harder. I'm
mentoring a young man. He's in my car the other day, and my shoulder hurts. I said, hey, what's going on, buddy? He said, I landed on my shoulder in practice. Do you tell them to go right back out there, or should they come in and get an x-ray, maybe like OSS Health, or should they, how do they know whether to be careful or just to keep going at it?
If obviously there's deformity or anything like that to the shoulder just doesn't look right, come in right away, we'll get an x-ray. But if it just seems like a mild ache, give it a day or two, take some ibuprofen. Tylenol if you can tolerate it, and then if it's still not better within 72 hours, then definitely come in and get it checked out.
Talk about preventative measures for shoulder injuries.
Absolutely. So the number 1 thing for us is actually the shoulder blade. So if we can really strengthen the back and the shoulder blade, that helps the shoulder move better as a unit, puts you at less risk of injury. And then also stretching. So you want the motion on your dominant side to equal the motion of your non-dominant side.
Cincinnati Reds, Bucknell wrestling team. I mean, you've been around a lot of different sports. It's got to be a dream come true. A little girl or a little guy, high school kid, junior high comes in. You can talk to them about sports. You can relate to them. You've been there. Does that give you an advantage making that connection?
Absolutely. So being a former athlete and being around as high level as Major League Baseball, we understand the importance of getting back to their sport and their passion and what they want to do and doing it safely, but also timing for that. So. Gotcha. We kind of base, are you going into senior season? Are you trying to make this tournament or that tournament? How can we work your injury to get you back to your goals?
What would be like a return to play checklist on how you could judge whether or not that shoulder is ready to go.
Yeah. So if it's any type of shoulder injury that requires rehab, it's at least 6 weeks rehab. So you're out for 6 weeks if you're not taking care of yourself. If it gets to a surgical aspect, now we're looking at 6 months. So it's a pretty big deal if we have to go in for surgery. So if you can take a break and let it rest, that's great. It may save you months on a recovery turn, but we go on a stepwise progression. We work on motion first, then we work on strength, and then we get back into sport-specific activities.
If you want more information, go to osshealth.com.
And welcome back. We're getting ready to start the second half here in just a few moments. A couple individual numbers. Jules Goff in the first half, Bill, had 19 rushes for 150 yards, 3 touchdowns. DeWitt, 3 rushes for 25 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 for 1 in passing for 30 yards. And then you had Parker Hines, 3 rushes for 85 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 reception for 30 yards. On the other side, Sam Stoner, 7 of 14 for York High, 54 yards, 1 interception, 3 rushes, 8 yards, 1 touchdown. 12 rushes for White in the first half, 57 yards and 1 touchdown. You got to think they maybe use him more in the second half. And then 3 receptions for Ward in the first half. David Ward for 24 yards. Those are some of the individual highlights as you see Central over there getting warmed up for the second half. Thoughts here as we head into the second half for Coach Jerry Onchek. He's got to be happy with what he saw in the first half. His team almost flawless. On the other side, if you're Russ Stoner, you got some adjustments you have to make.
Yeah, I don't see Coach Onchek over at Central York changing much of anything. Clearly, you have Jules Goff, but I've always been impressed with Najir DeWitt, thank you, number 21, from the first time that I saw him back in week 2. Parker Hines showed me something there. Carter Vaughn, their offensive front's clearly doing something, and their secondaries played very, very well. So they are a solid football program, and I said it after week 2 when they lost to Cumberland Valley. They are a classic program, and not just in District 3, but statewide as well.
Well, we're talking about the districts. By the way, just the lead teams in the district: Steelton High Spire leading A at 7-1, Anvil, Cleona, and DeLone Catholic at 6-3 in AA. Trinity coming in at 5-4, and Camp Hill at 5-4. Wyomissing 9-0, and so is Lancaster Catholic 9-0, as well as West Perry 9-0 over in AAA. And of course, West Perry I think plays Steel High tonight. That should be an interesting ball game. Mannheim Central in 4A at 8-0, Bishop McDevitt at 7-1, Lampeter Strasburg at 8-1, and Susquehanna Township and Milton Hershey at 6-3. And then you've got Solanco and Exeter Township in 5A leading the pack there, both with 9-0 records. New Oxford and Gettysburg. New Oxford at 7-1, Gettysburg and Shippensburg and Elizabethtown all at 7-2. And of course, Central York leading the big boys at 6A, 6A at 8-1. Hempfield's at 7-2. Harrisburg at 6-2. William Penn checking in at 6-2, and Cumberland Valley at 6-3 in the 5th spot. So those are your leaders in the district. As we get ready to look ahead to the playoffs a little bit later on, we'll take one final moment here and get set before we kick off in the second half. York High to receive, Central to kick off. You're watching it all here on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2. It is senior night here. The parents and seniors were honored tonight down in the field before the game. And always fun to watch that, Bill. You've gone through a few of those senior nights over the years.
I was very impressed with the senior night, and it seems like they've done a really nice job here at William Penn, and I like the job that Coach Stoner's done. He seems to really care about his players, and that's what I look for in a head football coach and the entire coaching staff. Do you have the interest? Do you really love your players? And I get the feeling that he does. Yeah, I had a chance to talk to him this week, and I'll tell you what, both these coaches just do a great job with their players, Coach Janchik and Coach Stoner. And so here we are getting ready to kick off for the second half. Third quarter, it'll be Matthew Parker doing the honors. Let's see if he continues to squib kick away from White. And it's taken back by York High. As across the near side and wrestled down there to start the second half. Good tackle by number 32 for Central. And that was Micah Bowers with the tackle. And so York High will get the ball and set up at the 21-yard line, 1st and 10. Yeah, and that's the perfect example of the point I had made earlier where Najir DeWitt had run all the way across the field
and was able to turn the corner, where Central York didn't let York High do that.
So let's see if they get Jaheim White involved.
McBride takes the toss. Picks up 4 on the play. Tackled by number 3, Ethan Carlos. There is an injured Panther on the field.
So it'll bring up now a 2nd down and 6 for the Bearcats at the 26-yard line. Man in motion again. Fake the jet sweep. Hand off to White. White right up the middle. White flashes out over the 40-yard line, out the 45, carrying a man with him to the 47-yard line. And just like that, Jaheim White with a shot up the middle.
Now, folks, if you want to see what a Division I burst looks like, that's it. As soon as he hits that hole and he notices that there's clear space in front of him, there's just another gear that those types of backs have.
Jaheim White gets a 1st down for York High, and they've been good in their drives tonight, especially when they've gotten him involved. Stoner calls out the signals, send a man in motion again. There it goes to White. White near side. White pushes the man down. White out to the 50. White across the 50 into Central territory down near the 48. Jaheim White getting into some rhythm here to start the 2nd half for the York High Bearcats.
He apparently is fairly strong, too, because he stiff-armed the defender from Central York immediately into the turf.
2nd down and 4 now as the ball at the 48-yard line of the Panthers. You're getting a steady dose of Jaheim White here so far, and why not? Do it again as Stoner fakes it this time, the pass, but Jaheim White brought down. Nice tackle on the play by Tyler Fry, a sophomore from Central.
Yeah, he met him right in the hole and stood him up there. That was textbook right there.
If you're going to get him, you better get him early, because once he gets ahead of steam, he's all over you.
All right, so we've got 3rd and 4, long 4. 4 down territory, no question about it. You're on the other side of the 50.
Tyler Fry with authority on that tackle. So it'll be 2nd down now, or 3rd down rather, and 4. Bearcats trying to get to that 1st down marker.
You got a quick hitch to Wade if you want it.
Again, Stoner running to his right. Stoner's going to get caught, and Stoner's mowed down for a big loss on the play. As in on the tackle that time for the loss, big number 73, Scott Monk, came charging through.
They closed fast on him, and that was one of the things that just couldn't happen. Now you're 4th and 10 here, and I just don't think you can afford to punt here.
So Central with the football here. Do they try to keep this drive going, or York High with the football try to keep this drive going? They need to get down to the 44-yard line of Central. Right now they're at their own 47.
So he's in a punt look.
And he's going to punt it out of there again, end over end, and picked up by Central right there at the 23-yard line. And the ball's...
No, that's a helmet.
It's going to be a helmet loose there for the second, and Central gets it back out to the 34, maybe the 35-yard line, where they'll set up shop here in the second half with a 36-16 lead, all here on High School Sports Live TV.
So a while back, I thought to myself, I'm never going to own a home. I'm going to have to rent forever. I didn't have money for a down payment. I had no credit history, and I just got out of a divorce. But PHFA showed me that home ownership is possible. They offer me a low-interest mortgage and a way to manage the closing cost. To me, this is more than just my home. It's a huge accomplishment and a new chapter in my life, thanks to PHFA.
And banging over the left side there, looks like Jules Goff to start the offensive series here for Central.
And he should be a little bit rested from halftime. They used him somewhat sparingly in the second quarter. If they can go down and score here, then I think Jules Goff can kind of go in cruise control for the rest of the night.
Started at the 35-yard line, pick up a 3. We'll bring up second down and 7 at the 38 as we tick down to 8:26 to go here in the third quarter. Central in command by 20 and with the football. They've not had to punt the ball one time yet tonight.
No, and for William Penn to be in the game, they're going to have to make them punt a couple of times, no question.
Jules Goff already has 3 touchdowns here this evening. Guy that's being looked at by Duke and Boston College, among others. Goff, near side. Goff is going to be taken down, and a good tackle back there for York High. And it looked like that was number 4, Jaheim White, doing the tackling. So he shows you I not only can run it, I can also tackle pretty well too.
Yeah, he must be a pretty strong young man because he just snatched that leg and lifted Goff right off the ground with one arm.
Yeah, I mean, just threw him down. So it'll be third down now.
These are the situations that York High is going to have to put Central York in. And don't respect the pass, but you have to respect the fact that they have shown they will run a little inside reverse handoff.
That little opposite direction thing where you're rolling right and then you inside handoff and go back and no one's home. So third down and 8 now. Oh, we got a snap here. Was going to be a passing play, and covering it up is Goff, and a big loss on the play all the way back to the 15-yard line. And if you're York High, that's what the doctor ordered right here.
That's exactly what the doctor ordered. Now we're going to have to see a punt.
Central with their first big mistake here tonight. Even though they have a 20-point lead, York High is explosive, and now you have a chance to get good field position. Back to receive, it'll be David Ward, and he's got some speed. On the other side,
let's catch the ball.
You got the punter Parker, wants to get it out of there, and does. Pretty good punt by Parker, and it's going to hit a Central player on the way by. It'll be down at the 48-yard line where York High will get good field position. But I think if the official saw it, player got hit back there on the Central side.
Yeah, probably made 4 or 5 yards difference there.
No instant replay in high school football, so it'll be 1st and 10.
Now, I'd like to see York High get into one of their methodical drives. If you've got to run Jaheim White 7 times in a row, then do it. So you need to score here and leave a few minutes left in the third quarter. And then they showed last series they can stop Central York.
And there you saw it look like it hit the back of the leg of one of the players, rolled ahead probably for another 5 or 6 yards. So 1st and 10 here. Stoner back there again. Stoner looking out in the flat. He's got Jaheim White. White going one-on-one. White down the near sideline and step out of bounds right around the 45-yard line or 44-yard line of Central.
Now that's a way of getting the ball into White's hands without having him to bang him up inside every time. He is their second leading receiver with 22 catches.
So it'll be second down and a short 1 on this one. Ball at the 44-yard line of Central. York High needs to get some points on this one. Down 36-16 with 6:14 to go here in the third.
Now, I like the matchup here with Ward on the inside.
There's Montrez Jackson banging over for that first down and getting it. Jackson has answered the bell so far tonight every time he's been called on.
You know, York High went 4 wideouts there, and they were there was no safety in the middle of the field. They were pressing David Ward in the slot. That's a really hard cover for the slot defender with a receiver the caliber of Ward.
So they'll move the chains. Ball down to the 41-yard line. 1st and 10 here for the Bearcats. A good position at 47-yard line after the missed snap by Goff.
The same defensive look here.
1st and 10. Stoner back. Stoner quick pass near sideline. Has his man over here on the sideline. That's going to be Quentin Price, and another quick pass, and York High on the move again.
Those are the passes that Stoner's really good at. Those timing routes. The ball's out of his hand before the receiver even finishes his break. And hey, it's a 10, 12-yard pickup.
Central looks a little loose right now, too, out there, and giving them some space to throw as they're throwing just underneath and taking what's given. So 1st and 10 now. Ball spotted at the 28-yard line of the Panthers. Bearcats send 2 receivers wide side and 2 receivers near side. And they got Jackson back there in the backfield with him. Jaheim White is in the slot here at the bottom part of your screen. Goes in motion now. And there's Jackson again. Jackson loose. Jackson pounds his way inside the 20 down to the 15-yard line, still moving and dragging a few Panthers with him.
Yeah, Jackson's runs a little taller than what I'd like to see. If he ever lowered his shoulder pads, he'd really hurt somebody, being the solid as he looks. But, boy, he's been pretty impressive.
Yeah, he really has. And, I mean, just pancaked a couple guys on the way by. So Jackson gets another first down. And take a look at this guy. Number 30 coming right up your grill and dragging a few people along with him. So 1st and 10, ball at the 16-yard line now of Central, and the Bearcats on the march, trying to crawl back into this game. There's Stoner. Stoner throws out in the flat, has his favorite receiver, David Ward, but Ward brought down very quickly. Again, it was Vaughn over there, Carter Vaughn on the spot.
Yeah, Vaughn matches up with him almost every time. So they were down here before in the first half, and they decided to throw the ball a couple of times. I'd be disappointed if they don't run it a couple of times here and get the first down and then the touchdown.
Pick up a 5 at the play. We 2nd down and 5. Ball now spotted at the 12-yard line for the Bearcats. Smart started back at their own 47-yard line. So getting the short field to work in here. Here's White in motion. Handoff again. This time it's Jackson. Jackson still is going to lunge forward down near the 10. Should bring up 3rd down and about 3.
You're in 4-down territory. You can still run the ball 2 times.
They're always putting White in motion. They haven't really used him yet in that motion, that jet sweep. It'll be interesting to see if they do that sometime soon here.
Yeah. This is a key down. You don't want to be 4th and 3 or 4th and 4 here. You need to get positive yardage.
So Stoner has the play. Sends the receivers wide again. A lot of times this is a running play in modern football. You might see Jackson again. 3rd down and 3. Stoner, straight back. Stoner looks, end zone, has his man open. Touchdown. And was that Jaheim White?
Yes.
On the 3-yard touchdown pass to Jaheim White here. And with 3:12 to go in the 3rd quarter, York High back on the board, and a nice comeback right here.
Yeah, he throws that short to intermediate route really nice. That's about the 3rd time they've run the slant. I really like the way that York High's receivers use their hands, and Jaheim White's just going to add to his ability in college by being able to be a back out of the backfield if that's what they want, because he uses his hands very nicely.
So again, they're going to go for 2 here. And Stoner will be back this time instead of White. Stoner looking to pass. Whistles blow.
Offside, Central York.
So Central York goes offside. So half the distance to the goal line will now make it 1.5 yards out. And you might change your play here now.
Yeah, I think I give it to number 30.
Number 30 or number 4 if you'd like. You come back to the Wildcat here with White.
Well, they have done that previously.
And here they are again.
Wouldn't surprise me if they motion Stoner and then run the ball with White.
So Stoner in the pistol. Stoner steps aside. There's White stepping in. Calls the Wildcat. Puts him in motion. And there goes Jaheim White. And in the end zone for 2 more. So White with a 2-point conversion. And add 2 more on the board. It's now 36-24 in York High within striking distance here. Still with 3:12 to go in the third quarter. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. This is High School Sports Live TV's Game of the Week on Fox 43.2.
Do you want to answer that?
Nah, I never with a kid in the car.
It's okay. I'm not here. I'm there.
And York High with a 53-yard drive from their own 47 cashes in yet another touchdown and 2-point conversion, 24 points. They're down by 12, and now they squib it down the field again. All the way down inside the 20-yard line will be taken there. And York High covers it very nicely right at the 20-yard line, so a little momentum here for the special teams, and now can they transfer it to their defense?
Yes, now that's an acceptable squib kick because you're not squibbing it where it only goes to the 40-yard line. You're squibbing it where it goes down to the 20, and it took a bounce in your favor, and it was tough to pick up, and you're able to rally around the football now. So now it's 80 yards to go instead of just 60.
So Central with the football now, and a little bit, not so much pressure, and not a sense of urgency yet, and yet you kind of feel like York High has a little momentum going here. You don't want to let them extend that too far.
Well, let's see how this series goes. This becomes a big series for both teams.
A little different look here this time. That was DeWitt in there. DeWitt really kind of a scat back, isn't he?
He's I've said this about other players over our broadcast. He's a football player. He just looks like a player out there, both offensively and defensively.
So it'll be second down now and 5 from the 25-yard line. That was 5 of the quickest yards I think I've ever seen gotten there by DeWitt.
Yeah, it's very similar to like triple option teams, which we saw Hershey do last Friday. Doesn't look like they pick up much on first down, but you open your eyes and it's 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5 now. Long count. And DeWitt to the left side again, trying to find some room, and he'll get over the left side, a little short of first down yardage, out near the 30, where it should bring up 3rd and maybe a short 2 or a long 1. Let's call it a short 2. So a pick up of 4 will make it 3rd down and 1.
So you're at least putting them in 3rd down situations. If we recall the last 3rd down situation, the ball was snapped over Goff's head. Put them in 3rd down situations and make them make a play. In the first half, you weren't putting them in any 3rd down situations.
So now at least you have a chance to try to stop them here on 3rd down. And again, you have a bad snap on a 3rd down situation, and again, you're going to have a loss of yardage, and
you're going to have to punt.
You're going to have to punt it out of there if you're Central. So another missed snap to Goff, and now Central has to kick it away to York High again, and you have a chance again for good field position.
Yeah, and I don't think that was a bad snap. I think that was just something where
Goff was maybe trying to leave a little early.
Possibly.
So it'll be 4th down now. And you got to kick it out of there. Parker back there again.
I'd like to see Wade move up a little bit and catch this ball. He's going to.
Parker, big, high, booming kick. And gets a York High bounce back up the field. And again, York High will get good field position here at their own 43 to start this drive. So the Bearcats with a chance here to really kind of close this gap.
Yeah, now let's think about the situation. You know, what did they do to go down and score? Almost every drive that they've scored 3 touchdowns. Every time it was chunk yardage on the run.
Jackson and
White. Short little sideline routes, hitches. They haven't had a lot of success with Stoner getting out of the pocket.
And you're now in a situation where the clock is not desperate here. You have plenty of time to work this thing a little bit. You're only down 2 scores and see what you can do. So let's see what they choose. They have Jackson back there in the backfield again. He has been the battering ram for him so far tonight. Stoner back. Stoner looking. Stoner throwing deep. And you're going to get a pass interference easy call down there as DeWitt just basically grabbed onto his man.
And in high school football, that'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Big 15-yard penalty, though. Nice gain on the play.
Puts him on the other side of the 50.
DeWitt just looked like he was beaten. He said, okay, I'm going to take the 15-yard penalty instead of the touchdown.
Well, I know from coaching high school football, you kind of teach your defensive backs that. We'd rather give up 15 than 7 points.
Yeah, take a look at this. I mean, straight back is Stoner. He sees his man down there, lets loose, one-on-one coverage, and DeWitt just says, no way you're going to get that. It was Jaheim White that he had to cover, too.
Right.
Second leading reception guy on the team. And so 1st and 10 here for the Bearcats, and they got some wind at the back of their sails right now. 41-yard line. This drive started on the 43, so their first gain is the 15-yard penalty variety. Again, they're running that spread, 2 receivers both sides. Stoner again, flacks out to the flat. Jaheim White with it. Jaheim White dodges one man. Gets through and gets down to the 35-yard line. He just makes you miss so quickly.
Yeah, I like York High's feeling it right now. If they put this into score, and we've talked about this all season long, it's amazing what momentum can do in the sporting event.
In this case, 2 bad snaps.
And they're going to let the clock run down, and let's play the 4th quarter.
Yeah, it runs down underneath 10 now, and York High with the ball, down 36-24, but right now a chance to pull it back. Who knows what's going to happen as we head to the 4th. This is your High School Sports Live TV Game of the Week. We got a good one right here at Smalls Athletic Field on Fox 43.2.
The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambavo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jack Giambavo Mazda. The Giambavo family of dealerships. Over $30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambavo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambavo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at giambavo.com.
Everybody knows Hoffman has it. Did you know Hoffman has even more? There's the fully stocked Hoffman Ford Parts and Accessories Department, the Hoffman state-of-the-art collision facility, confidence in our ultra-modern service facility, peace of mind with master technicians, satisfaction with low prices.
Do I really need to say it again? Hoffman has it.
Only at Hoffman Ford, Colonial Park.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
And we're heading to the final quarter here. 36-24 Central leads, but York High has it, and they are on the move. Central with only 6 plays, Bill.
Yeah, that's the formula that we talked about was the only hope for York High to get back in the ball game. And 6 plays, no first downs after 258 yards rushing in the first half.
York High down to the Central 36, where it's 2nd down and 4.
I think they're going to throw here.
Looking to pass again. Stoner dances. Stoner trying to get to the near side or far side, and Stoner gets a first down as he gets out of the pocket there, but picks up a first down and keeps the drive alive.
I think they were trying to wheel up the right sideline here, which is the York sideline, but Stoner didn't have it right away. He didn't want to take the sack. He got moving and picked up the all-important first down.
Stoner showed you some good quicks, too, getting out of there and outrunning the defender on the far side. So first down at the 31-yard line of York High with 11:52 to go here in the 4th quarter. And York High on the move. It's amazing what 2 bad snaps can do in turning momentum around here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just the breaks of the game sometimes, and again, I'm not so sure the second one was necessarily a bad snap,
right?
But it was a muff snap.
You go Montrezl Jackson now, and Jackson continues to get good positive yardage every time he handles the ball. Again, banging forward for it looks like about 7 yards.
Yeah, they use White as the decoy there by running him through on the jet.
Montrezl Jackson will pick up 6. He'll bring up a 2nd down and 4 now.
Jerry Yonchek, very demonstrative on the sideline over there. He's not happy about something. You might see this game slipping away a little.
2nd down and 4 yards to go here. They'll call it 5 on the board. Looks more like 4 from where we're sitting. Ball touching the 25-yard line. You need only to get to the 21.
I like the way York's going about this. They're not rushing. They don't have to.
Very methodical. Pretty penalty-free second half, too. You're not seeing many penalties. Oh, there's White. White has a man to beat. White gets near side. White down to the 15, dives to the 11. And, you know, he looks like he's caught, and then all of a sudden he just puts it into a second gear that you really don't understand.
He has a stiff arm that's very impressive. That's the second time he's face-planted one of the Central York defenders into the ground when, usually a lot of times if you're not strong enough, a tackle will just run right through that stiff arm, but not in his case.
He's a strong kid. So another first down here for the Bearcats to the 12. They can get a first down without getting the touchdown by getting to the 2-yard line. Stoner has Jackson back there with him. In motion goes White. White's out in the flat.
Right.
Stoner's got him, and he thought a second time. He kind of clutched on it.
Yeah, he had to go to him right away. He wanted to. I think they wanted to run the slant that they scored on earlier, but he had White out in the left flat on the little swing route.
So looks like bringing the play in here is James McBride, number 10, checking into the game, along with Sam Stoner coming back on the field here. Has the play he wants. 2nd down and 10, ball at the 12-yard line.
Yeah, I think you're going to run the ball here because you don't want to be in a situation now where you're 3rd and 10 if you don't complete this pass. So let's pick up 5 yards.
Now they're going to, they were running the same play that they ran before. This time they handed off, and it was James McBride.
No, that was
check that. It was Jackson over the right side. So Jackson over the right side down to the 5-yard line. He's the guy that gets the tough yardage up the middle.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them maybe go Wildcat here. They're going to bring their big guys in. Yeah, they did this earlier in the half. They're going to load up with linemen all on one side in the backfield. And
big package coming in here.
Yeah, and they're going to direct snap to
White. So White's going to take the Wildcat.
Yeah, you got about 470 pounds of beef over here.
And there you go. And you got a little hole to get through. And White down near the 1.
Yeah, he got the first down.
That's exactly what you wanted over that right side with a lot of big beef up front there. Those guys are all coming in there. They were packing it pretty well. This drive started back at the 43-yard line of York High, and they have just methodically worked their way down the field here.
You're going to see the same thing here.
1st down and goal. White's going to take it on the Wildcat again. Looked like a little movement on the left side there early.
Yeah, that was a little, something was a little off there, but touchdown.
Touchdown for the 1-yard line at the 9:34 mark of the 4th quarter. And Jaheim White in there for the touchdown. And will York High continue to go for 2? We're sure they are. So Jaheim White with his 2nd touchdown of the evening.
So we have a 6-point ball game with still over 9 minutes to go.
And again, any reason to change right here? Got Stoner back there. You got White in the backfield with him. Stoner hands off to White. White trying to race the end zone. White's going to get in there. And White with another 2-point run. And all of a sudden, we've got ourselves a football game, ladies and gentlemen. It is now 36-32. York High in striking distance. And still a big number to go in this game, 9:34 to go. We'll take a timeout. This is High School Sports Live TV Game of the Week on Fox 43.2.
Everybody knows Hoffman has it. Did you know Hoffman has even more? There's the fully stocked Hoffman Ford Parts and Accessories Department, the Hoffman state-of-the-art collision facility, confidence in our ultra-modern service facility, peace of mind with master technicians, satisfaction with low prices.
Do I really need to say it again? Hoffman has it.
Only at Hoffman Ford, Colonial Park.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
And Jaheim White with his second touchdown on a drive that started back at the 43-yard line. Central minus 13 in the third quarter, by the way. York High 88, 8 plays, 57 yards, 3:11 it took on that drive, and York High will kick off. Central will get it. And it'll be first down, and this is a big series for Central now.
Yeah, they're going to start in pretty good field position, better than what they've had in this half at the 35-yard line. And this is where, as a head coach, you're looking for one score.
Yeah. You're
figuring that, if we can score one time, take 5 minutes off the clock, then it's our ball game. And this is the drive that Coach Jonchek, if you can rally the guys and get some momentum going back, this is it.
Down to a one-score lead right now. It's been 2 most of the night plus for Central. And there goes Goff, and taken down right there at the backfield, and York High quick on that one, getting in the backfield and stopping the run.
Yeah, York High is just selling out. They know exactly what Central York wants to do now. Again, only throwing one pass. There's no threat.
And now's where the Wildcat, you hate to say, kind of hurts them. If they get some more yards, obviously it's going to work. But the Wildcat right now is kind of one-dimensional, and York High is caught into the dimension.
Yeah, well, when you're putting it's hard to run against 9 and 10 guys in the box.
So here's Central again. Tight formation, one receiver far side. Here's Goff again. Goff trying to get to the corner. Goff to the corner. Gets around there and gets out to the 40-yard line. So nice pickup on the play by Goff as he kind of paced himself a little bit and waited for his blockers to set up.
Yeah, but even that was not difficult. It was difficult yardage, and they didn't get as much as you thought there. This is a 3rd and 6.
Yeah, they'll mark it back at the 39-yard line. So 3rd and 6 it brings up. Looked like he had gotten around the corner, maybe gotten a few more yards. The official said nope.
Interesting call here now.
And do you pass here? Do you run a little misdirection? So Goff straight up the middle, and Goff gets the big first down. They needed that one. Out past the 45-yard line.
Yeah, that was a strong run. I think Coach Jonchek just said, hey, we're going with our best kid and our best play right up front. Get me the first down.
That's where they started the game, and so Goff gets a huge first down here for the Panthers. Clock continues to tick, 7:49, 7:48. Central with a precarious 4-point lead right now. They were up 36-16 at the half. It's now 36-32 as York High has answered here in the second half with 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions.
Yeah, I love that there's no quit in York High football team.
No, speaks well of their character. So Central trying to answer with their own character march right now. Here goes Goff, and Goff gets taken down, but not before he gets about 5 on the play.
See, now if they start to allow him to get these 4 or 5 yards at a chunk, it brings back the horrific memories of the first half of can we stop him, can we stop him? So they have to keep taking gambles. They have to keep slanting into gaps, and they have to get in those gaps. They can't allow themselves to be stood up and allow penetration.
You look up at that front line right now for Central, and you've got Danny Pham, Colin Glassmeyer, Elijah Inners, Thad Shaw up there, Wilfredo Toro, Scott Monk, Ethan Carlos up there. Those guys doing a good job up front here for Central, pushing through right now. Here's Goff again, and he's just saying, I'm coming right at you, and another first down. Nothing fancy at all. They're right back to where they started the game.
They're not running outside the tackles. They're running between the tackles right now.
This is, we think we can beat you up the middle right now, and it's power on power.
Still 40 yards to go.
Look at this, though. Just right over that right side. And, again, enough of a hole there. And one of the guys blasting that hole right there is number 50. You saw Wilfredo Toro on that right side.
I mean, it was no mistake that they rushed for 258 yards in the first half. So you know that they can, and you know that York High is susceptible to this.
2 mistakes just cost them big here in the second half with those mishandled snap and one a bad snap. Here's Goff, straight forward. And Goff just gets in behind his people and says, I'm going to drive it down there, and gets down near the 36-yard line where it's going to be 2nd down and 4. They'll say gain of 3 on the play, 2nd down and 7. Clock continues to run at 5:50 right now, and you just want to take your time with this clock and run it on down.
Somebody's called a timeout. Looks like York High called that timeout.
York High's going to call a timeout, see if they can't adjust. We'll take one as well. This is Fox 43 Live. The game of the week, all here. Back after this. And welcome back here. It's Fox 43 Sports Live TV Game of the Week. And right now, it's Central with the football. 5:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. And Central getting first down just by giving it to Jules Goff and doing this. Straight up the middle, and Goff with another straightforward first down. And York High just can't stop him right now.
Yeah, he's a beast coming through there. Really tough. I notice he runs over to the sideline then to get the play.
Don't forget, coming up after the game, our Capital Blue Cross post-game report, Capital Region Insurance Agency play of the game, and our Hoffman Ford player of the game. We'll be picking that.
I don't know why he goes over to get the play. I think Coach Nunchek's just saying, run the same play.
Yeah, do that again. And it's straight Goff right now the whole way. Just waiting to set up, getting chunks of yardage every single time. It looks like another gain of 5 to 6 yards.
Yeah, you're going to be 3rd and 2nd down, I'm sorry.
2nd down and 5 yards to go. Yeah. So the ball down to the 24-yard line now. Just grinding it out, making the clock your friend here.
And the 2 up-backs from Central York are doing a really nice job. Nazir DeWitt and I think it's a Johnny Walker.
So it'll be 2nd down and 5 to go here for Central. No thought that they might change at this particular point. It's working what they're doing.
Yeah, I would be surprised if they go outside any tackles.
Their offensive line is doing some serious blocking. By the time Goff gets there, they're 2 yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, at some point, for York High to win this game, somebody's got to shoot a gap. Somebody's got to beat. But I'm also, and I can't tell from up here in the booth, but their splits have to be pretty tight down there on the offensive line. This is almost like goal line situation where you cut your splits down and you don't let any penetration come through.
We're down to 4 minutes now. 3rd down, and I would dare say the biggest 3rd down of the game. Well, this is 4-down territory right now for Central probably. 3rd down and 3 right now. York High needs a stop. Central needs a first down. It's that simple. Goff again. Goff gets jammed. Did he get to the first down marker, though?
Oh, that's close. It looks like they're, oh boy, I can't tell.
He's very, very close. Depends on where his knee came down, the official will mark it. And it's going to be a first down, we think. Official says, yes, it is. And another first down for the Panthers, who are marching forward right now. They started this march back at their own 35-yard line, and they're doing to York High right now what York High has done to them here in the second half with 2 big marches.
Well, there haven't been any surprises. They've run between the tackles every play. Jules Goff's carried the ball every play. Thankfully, they gave him some blows in the second quarter.
He's ready to go here. You said in the first quarter he can't keep this up the whole game, but got a few breaks, had to win it a few times, Hines it a few times, and now here he is to finish it off for Central if they can do it. Goff again, Goff over the right side. Goff shoots his way down for yet another 5 to 6 yards, maybe even 7 on this one.
And even if they don't score, clock becomes an issue now.
And you're putting York High in bad field position, 2:47 to go in this one right now.
Because they're not going to snap the ball until they absolutely have to. And in the Wildcat, it's a lot easier to do that. You don't have guys spread out all over the field. You don't have motion. You know, you're just lining up, and you can snap the ball until that official raises his hand that there's 5 seconds left.
Again, that front line there, Danny Pham, Wilfredo Toro, Colin Glassmeyer, Elijah Inners, Scott Monk are really pushing this York High team around right now. Take a look and see when he gets to the hole here, you're already 1 to 2 yards into the other side. And there it is again. It's pushing forward, being stopped, but inside the 10-yard line now.
So York has used their second timeout now, which they basically have to do.
Right. You have to have some time if they do score to come back. We'll take a timeout as well. It's 2:05 to go in this one, 36-32, Central marching on High School Sports Live TV's Game of the Week on Fox 43.2.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rentals, parts, and service needs of its customer. Students, begin your professional journey in a high-demand field with Groff Tractor. Contact us today to discover the power of our technician internship programs. Groff Tractor also offers scheduled maintenance along with 24/7 emergency service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
It'll be first down and 10 now at the ball at the 10-yard line. So that's first down and goal for Central, and this is the game.
Yeah, so they have 1 timeout left. You could run 1 play, and then you could take 2 knees actually and take it under a minute. Now I don't think they'll do that. I think they're going to try to score. They are not going to kick a field goal.
No.
If they come to 4th down, even though a field goal would put them 7 points ahead.
There goes Goff, and Goff diving for the end zone. That's going to bring up second down rather. But again, a gain of 4.
And there's no indication here that York High can stop them from scoring right here.
1:44, second down, 6 yards to go.
I wouldn't even be surprised if Central York lets the clock run all the way down and then they call timeout.
So the clock definitely your friend right now. And they're going to walk to the sideline. They're going to call timeout right now as they walk over to talk to Jerry Yunchik.
He's going to let it run down until it's...
And then he'll call a timeout and milk this thing for as far as it can go. It's down to 113, 112. And stop it at 111. And a timeout again. We'll take one as well. This is High School Sports Live TV's Fox 43 Game of the Week.
At Capital Blue Cross, there are more yeses and fewer nos. Protecting your health and making it easier so you can spend time on what makes you smile. Helping our communities, your families, your businesses, big and small. We have you covered, going the extra mile. It's what we do. Capital Blue Cross, going the extra mile for you.
Central, 2nd and 6, and the ball is at the 6-yard line. 2nd and goal, actually, and it's 36-32. 1:11 to go in this one. York High right here, you have to stop it, and then you have to find a way to quickly score on the other end, and they're really up against it right now, Bill.
Yeah, this was the drive that Central York had to have. This is only the 3rd time they've had the ball in the second half.
Right.
The second half has been much, much quicker as far as time concerned in play than the first half.
Started this drive at the 35-yard line. It's now down to the 6. Goff with it, and Goff into the end zone, and that from the 6-yard line. So a 6-yard run for Goff here at the 1:09 mark of the fourth quarter, and that should pretty much put it away as Goff with his 4th touchdown of the night. Injured player down on the field for a moment, coming off, and I believe that is David Ward.
Looks like number 6.
Is it 6 coming off? We'll check that then. How about Joseph Chakai? So Joseph Chakai limping off there at the near sideline.
Yeah, very nice drive for Central York. They basically said, you know, we'll buckle it up, you buckle it up, and let's see who wants to be the champs of the division.
65-yard drive, and Central York about to put it back up to 11 points if Parker can nail this, and he does. And so it's 43-32. Central leads it. 1:09 to go in this one. Quick break. We'll be right back. This is the Game of the Week on High School Sports Live TV.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Well, if you're the Central band, you're pretty happy right now. You can see them over there playing the fight song, but Central responded with the march of the year here. They were pushed 36-32. They hadn't scored in the second half. They'd only run 6 plays, and they go from 65 yards from their own 35 and march it down the field. 14 plays, 65 yards, 8:25. They ate up a lot of clock. No play longer than 9 yards.
Yes, and that was the refresher of what occurred in the first half, even though they're a little bit more diverse in the first half.
Yeah, this was right back to where they started the game. We're just coming right at you, and they did exactly that. York High with the football. They're going to pitch it back here, and a little hook and ladder play almost as Jahir White gets it.
They want to get into White's hands.
Yes.
So, assuming Central York wins this game, and though I don't have a doctorate in calculus, I'm thinking that this will keep Central York the #1 seed in the 6A for the Division III playoffs. I don't, a lot of it has to do with power rankings, who you beat, but they're beating a 6A team with a good record, so chances are they're going to finish #1. What's it do to York High? It might bump them down. I think they started today at number 6. It might bump them down to 7. I don't see them going any lower than that.
Yeah, you got Wilson at 7-2 behind them right now. Carlisle then is at 5-4. So
Wilson's playing Manheim Township tonight.
Right.
So if they win that game, that's going to get them some points. But if they lose that game, they may stay. It may stay just as it is.
And you look at this Central team, and we go back to the Bo Probula talk at the beginning of the year, and everybody's saying, well, they haven't lost since whenever. They haven't lost a game in the YAI since 2018. Looks like they're going to keep that record intact here tonight. They're going to win their 4th straight championship here for the Division I, and obviously ranked #1 in the district. But people are saying, what are they going to do after Bo Probula? Well, they've shown they can do a lot of different things right now, including play the Wildcat when their quarterback's not here on a given night. Nazir's still obviously not in this game tonight, but they really adjusted very, very well. A very versatile team.
Yes, and they were fortunate that they were playing a team that just is not strong defensively. It allowed them to be one-dimensional. They're in a championship game against a high-scoring team, and they only throw 1 pass.
Well, we saw this offensive line in the second half against Cumberland Valley, and this offensive line has shown up again here tonight for Central. When you talk about Inners, Glassmeyer, Pham, Toro, and Monk, I mean, these guys are just getting it done out there.
Yeah, it is clearly one of their strengths.
Oh, White looking to pass downfield and not going to be done again. Who is it down there covering? Yeah, the guy we've called all night long, Carter Vaughn.
That's my man.
And I'll tell you what, you watch this guy, he is like a whirling dervish down there. I mean, he's full of excitement on every play.
Well, they've matched him up with David Wade, who is clearly York High's top guy.
David Ward not able to get too many passes thrown his way tonight. That Carter Vaughn didn't have something to say about it.
Yes, did I say Wade?
Sure,
okay.
But it's Ward.
Okay, sorry, David. I got it right all night.
That play took a long time to develop on the option. So it'll be second down now and 10. Stoner looking again deep. And you're going to get pass interference as the arm got grabbed onto down there, and a good call by the official. So it'll be a 15-yard penalty here for York High.
And obviously, if York High could score quickly, we would get the most exciting play in football, that being the onside kick.
But obviously, they understand how quickly you have to score here if they're going to get a chance to get back in. They're looking for big chunk yardages on the play here.
Well, they have the guys that can break things.
Again, you'd like to find White out there somewhere and let him go one-on-one or one-on-two in the secondary. So it's all the way down to the 41-yard line now, and we'll see what York High has in mind. They got Jackson in the backfield with him. They have White out here in the near sideline as a receiver.
And Central's much more off the receivers than what they were earlier.
They're looking for White, and the defensive player falls down, but overthrown by Stoners. I think White was supposed to turn a different way than what Stoner thought he was going to turn.
See, and I don't think you need to be throwing the ball 40, 50 yards downfield right now. Pick up 12 yards here. Pick up 15 on the next play. You can stop the clock on offense in a lot of different ways.
Well, and if you get it in the hands of number 4,
right,
a lot of things can happen even if you throw a 10 or 12-yard pass.
Yeah, and remember, the clock does stop on a first down, so you can get a first down and get up and clock the ball, throw it into the ground, stop the clock that way. You'd like to save your last time out.
Right now you've got people playing 10, 12 yards off the ball, and there you go. But a tough pass there from Stoner. He throws to the sideline and just a little too far to catch for White. Brings up third down and 10 now.
But that's the type of route we're talking about there, where he had Jaheim White open.
Yeah, White in a crossing pattern that time. I'd like to thank our statistician tonight, Travis Sparks, for doing a great job.
So let's get the first down here. Don't get too greedy. Get the first down. Live for another play.
So here you go. You need a first down to get something else going on for you here. 39.9 seconds to go. Stoner looks. Stoner all the way to the end zone. He's got White down there, and White is going to take it, but it's going to be incomplete. And who was there again? This time it was Niger DeWitt, and I think you're going to get some taunting here, a flag thrown.
Yes, I think my football player, Niger DeWitt, gave a little finger shake to Jaheim White and telling him not on this night.
Yeah, you don't need that.
Yeah, it's 15 yards, and now you're giving him some life.
Your game's done the talking all night long. You don't need to put the voice behind it. I know in basketball, I tell my players, let your game do the talking. I'll take care of protecting you, but that's why coaches are there. So now where you had a play stopped and bringing up a fourth down, now you get back and you have a first down again for York High. And a little bit of new life, not a lot of it, 33.7 seconds to go, but a chance. And there's no quitting these Bearcats, as we've already seen.
Yeah, so again, I don't think you need to throw for the end zone, but you only have so many plays left with 33 seconds left.
White's in the backfield.
I'm guessing they're not throwing down here to 30.
Throw it out to White and let him take off. That's exactly what they're going to do, and there's White. White trying to find a place to go. Not going to do it this time, and Central bottles him up.
He made the mistake of not getting out of bounds there. I think he could have, and now they've got to use their last time out.
So 23.4 seconds to go. The last time out used here by York High. Pickup of probably about, let's call it 5 on the play, maybe 6. That's somewhat inconsequential at this particular point now with only 23.4 seconds to go. You need to get a touchdown. We'll take a very quick break. We'll come right back. This is High School Sports Live TV's Game of the Week.
So a while back, I thought to myself, I'm never going to own a home. I'm going to have to rent forever. I didn't have money for a down payment. I had no credit history, and I just got out of a divorce. But PHFA showed me that home ownership is possible. They offer me a low-interest mortgage and a way to manage the closing cost. To me, this is more than just my home. It's a huge accomplishment and a new chapter in my life, thanks to PHFA.
And how about this number tonight? Jules Goff with 36 rushes for 190 yards.
That is a lot of carries, but I was thinking after 15 carries in the first quarter, he was going to end up with 50 carries.
About 143 yards there in the first quarter, and after that they calmed down a little bit. But most of his yardage, 8 and 9 yard variety. The pass is just a little bit high.
Yeah, I had a feeling they would go for the end zone on that one. They had him on a little skinny post route there.
Dave Ward, his favorite receiver, but couldn't quite hang on to that one. A little high, had to be high. He was guarded well. So this, the third down now, and 4. Again, that's somewhat academic at this point. 19.6 seconds to play in this one.
Yeah, I think now you're to the point where you have to throw to the end zone. You have to score here or on the next play so that you at least have some type of hope.
Coming up, we'll have our post-game report brought to you by Capital Blue Cross. Says, here's Stoner looking. High pass up in the air. He's got Ward. Ward is going to take it in. Looks like a touchdown. If not, a pass interference. And it is a touchdown as they pass to Ward from 20 yards out for another touchdown here for York High at the 14-second mark. So Stoner to Ward.
Yeah, they ran the skinny post on second down and then came back and ran the post corner route. And Ward got a step on Carter Vaughn, and it was a beautiful throw and looked like a one-handed grab.
So 43-38. Thought it might be a high-scoring game tonight. Here you go again. Stoner, pass, end zone, knocked down. So 43-38 is the score with 14 seconds to play, and this one will keep it right here. As York High comes down and gets another score, but little, too late.
So let's not give up yet, Gare.
No, you still have 14 seconds to go. So now you've got, as you said, the most exciting play in football, the onside kick.
That's what I always say to my wife, anyways, when they line up to do it. It's not so exciting. It's exciting if you're a fan and you want to see what happens, and you don't see it too often. It's rarely successful in the pros anymore because they've changed the rules. I think you have a better chance in high school, but if you do get the onside kick, you're probably going to get it on the other side of the 50, maybe down to the 45, and you at least have. And Stoner's shown me that he has an arm that I don't know if he can reach the end zone from the 50, but he can get close.
So 43-38, 14 seconds to play. Central's going to have every one of their receivers up along the line of scrimmage. You can bet on that. And what will York High do here in terms of how they're going to kick this off? You try to kick it off a player? Do you just try to bounce it up in the air, get a...
Well, this is something you practice generally every Thursday 4 or 5 times each week.
And this is Stoner doing the kicking here.
Yeah.
So let's watch and see what happens. Here you
Try
go.
to kick the top of the ball.
Kicks it, bounce up in the air, and take it and covered up nicely by Central. And that might well be it, as Thaddeus Shaw jumped on top of it right there.
You're really hoping that it takes a really high bounce or an awkward bounce, and it just didn't in that situation. It came right to the receiving team, and the kid did a nice job just falling right on it.
13.1 seconds ago, 43-38. Central leads it, and they just need to take really one snap. As players are shaking hands along the line there.
Yeah, this has been an interesting game from the standpoint that I've learned a lot about both teams here, and I'll be really curious. I have a real interest in the District 3 6A division.
Well, and we're going to have a real interest in it as well, because we're going to be bringing you the 6A championship game. Will be on Saturday the 26th of November. and we will be bringing that live to you on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2. Looking forward to that. Wherever that is going to be played, we got a lot of football to play between now and then.
Yeah, and I could almost predict who the finalists or semifinalists would be in the other 5 divisions, but in this division, it's almost impossible to project who's going to be there at the end.
Well, the Central team, you'd certainly have to think, has a pretty good chance.
They do, so they'll have the advantage of playing the 8th seed. They take 8 6A teams.
And there you have the knee, and that should be just about it, as they cannot stop the clock in York High. 43-38, Central wins this Battle of the Cats. They win the YAIAA Division I championship for the 4th straight year. And we will come back with our Capital Blue Cross post-game report, our Capital Region Insurance Agency play of the game, and our Hoffman Ford play of the game right after this. This is High School Sports Live TV's Game of the Week on Fox 43.2.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambavo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jack Giambavo Mazda. The Giambavo family of dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambavo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambavo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at giambavo.com.
At Capital Blue Cross, there are more yeses and fewer nos. Protecting your health and making it easier so you can spend time on what makes you smile. Helping our communities, your families, your businesses, big and small. We have you covered, going the extra mile. It's what we do. Capital Blue Cross, going the extra mile for you.
If it's used car peace of mind you're looking for, Hoffman has it. Hoffman Ford brings you a wide selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, carefully chosen and inspected for dependable driving pleasure. For the ultimate peace of mind, shop the Hoffman collection of Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicles. If you're looking for a used vehicle, you can feel good about your loved one's driving.
Hoffman has it.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
We wake up with the sun. We live in a place we're proud to call home. For us, it's knowing that those we help are neighbors, friends, family. As the leader in providing the best orthopedic care for our community, we come together to do our part.
And welcome back to our Capital Blue Cross post-game report. Your final score here, 43-38. Central winning their 4th straight YAIA Division I championship over York High tonight. York High goes to 5-1. Overall, they will be now 6-3, while Central moves to 9-1 and 6-0 here, winning the Division I championship again tonight. Bill, final thoughts on this one?
Well, I just think it's so cool when you have, growing up and playing football, high school football in Western Pennsylvania, we had to travel miles and miles to play football teams and get competition. Whereas here, you might have kids that live right across the street from one another. They know each other so well, and it was a good, clean game. You could tell after the game, a lot of the players did know one another and congratulated each other. And then who knows? They may see each other again.
Very well could. Central number 1 going into districts now, and York High number 6, maybe number 7 after tonight. We'll wait and see. But you look tonight at our Capital Region Insurance Agency play of the game. There are a number of them to choose from tonight. I'm going to be anxious to see what they chose. Here is our Capital Region Insurance Agency play of the game. And it was this one. 77-yard run, the best run of the night.
Yeah, Parker Hines.
And this was Parker Hines.
Yeah, that one really impressed me. He was nice and patient.
23-yard line. You see him right here.
Watch how patient he is here. There's the hole right there. He breaks that tackle has to be made there.
Yep. And he breaks it and then takes off. And Parker Hines, on the night that Jules Goff looked pretty good, Parker Hines had the big run of the night, 77 yards. So that was our play of the game tonight, our Capital Region Insurance Agency play of the game. And then our Hoffman Ford player of the game tonight. Well, this guy did yeoman duty all night long. 36 rushes, 190 yards, and 4 touchdowns, 36 rushes. This guy worked all night long. This was the opening play of the game offensively. 65 yards to the house wins Jules Goff. He's being looked at by Boston College and Duke and probably some other universities as well. And then a 2-point conversion into the end zone again. He did that. He had 3 other touchdowns to go with this and a few more 2-point conversions as well. Take a look. This is a 1-yard dive. And Jules Goff saying, yep, I had a lot of fun tonight. 4 touchdowns, 190 yards. And you can see Jerry Youngchuk over there talking to his team tonight. And, man, you talk about paying attention. There you have it.
Well, I said in the week 2 when we covered Central York, with a name like Jules Goff, you're probably pretty good.
Yep, and he did it tonight. DeWitt had 5 rushes, 33 yards, a touchdown. 1 for 1 on passing, 30 yards. He also had Hines 3 rushes for 85 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 reception, 30 yards. You saw that a moment ago in our play of the game. Stoner, 15 out of 26 for York High, 137 yards, 3 total touchdowns, 1 interception. 143 total yards for White tonight, 3 touchdowns. He was impressive again. And then Ward, 5 receptions for 49 yards and a touchdown. 43-38, your final score tonight. I want to thank Travis Sparks, our statistician, Charlie Fortney for all the hard work he put in this, Chad Edwards and his whole crew, and John, our director tonight. Our Invicta staff did a wonderful job. Fox 43 for all the hard work they get, and the wonderful people here at York High for their hospitality here at Smalls Athletic Field tonight. Our next game, stay tuned for it. It's going to be on November the 26th. It will be our 6A championship in District 3, and it all will be right here on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2. Stay tuned later on tonight for Fox 43 Football Frenzy on Friday night at 11 o'clock. Todd Sadowski and the whole crew will be checking in, and we'll be checking back here again for a final wrap-up. But again, your final score and a championship of Division I of the YAIAA, 43-38, the Central Panthers win it again. For Bill Chase, I'm Gary Sutton. Have a good evening, everyone.
Good job.